What's going on, fellas? What up, Smitty? It's your boy Zeke, man. First time in the building. Feels good. Shout out to everybody in attendance. Yeah, man. Oh, okay. That's crazy. Can y'all hear me? Crazy. Hey, like we did that. We really did that. And then that's crazy. That's how it be too when you change up, when you move it, unplug it, something. That's how.
That's got to
Oh
be it. Can
yeah.
y'all hear me now? Salty. Had a great little intro, man. Just talking about how I was
Right.
hitting on Zeke because he got a beard. I ain't grow a patches on the cheek yet. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Let me play the bell for myself. You guys been waiting for that.
Right.
But I know you guys been waiting to hear this for a minute, so I might as well reiterate it. What's good, Relocation Football League fans? Your boy Smitty in the booth with Zeke. He already did his introduction, man. Glad to have him on. What we plan to do moving forward when we do have these RFL podcasts, we are going to kind of have a joint thing going on. So you guys already know about us running at the same time with college and the pros and what we plan to do in the future. So a lot more of that will come more at the tail end of this podcast. But this is a podcast you guys been waiting on, man, because at the end of it all, we're going to be revealing the CS5 College Series Award winners. So I know you guys are hyped for that. And then we're just going to really dive into the new stuff that we kind of release, the new stuff that's coming, when to anticipate that these things will be out for you guys, laying out forward in terms of the uniforms. I know you guys can't wait for the uniforms we've been designing. We're almost completely done with that. It's a lot of stuff going on, and we're just going to go ahead and make sure to lay all that out for you guys. So I got my sheet here to make sure to check up and keep in order because it's actually a decent amount to talk with you guys about today. So let's go ahead and first start off. Well, shout out everybody that's here though, man. Appreciate you guys coming through. Over 45 live viewers already after we've been off for about 3 weeks off the YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, them boys is in the building, man.
Yeah.
I got 52 over here. They strong in the chat too.
Oh yeah. Oh
They in
yes.
here. What up, everybody? We here, man. Hey, this is gonna be one of the best years to come.
Oh, for sure,
We
man.
got college, we got
Hey,
pros.
league
It's going
first.
down.
League first. Whole group unit now here, man. It's about to be crazy. That's the only thing. Everybody, I've been saying for a long time, it's about to be a movie. It's really about to be a movie. And you know what else is going to make this really jump off? The first order of content to go into is the Yetta Ball, man. RFL Yetta Ball. For anybody who don't know about the Yetta Ball, I put, if you know, you know. But for guys who don't know about the Yetta Ball, the Yetta Ball started when I had a little skit going way back, just out of nowhere, talk about the Peter Pan Yettas I was rocking. It was pretty much a Fat Farm Timberland boot with no sole to it. And it looked like the Peter Pan shoe. So because it looked like that, you know, I just say, yo, I got the new Yettas on, you know, New York slang type thing. And by the way, I'm not from New York for anybody who's probably wondering or anything. But yeah, that's pretty much how it started. And so we were just like, we were talking about the football. So I want to give a shout out to Michael King, man, because he's been working on the mods. And shout out to Beazle. We were just sitting there talking, and we are just like, hey, man, what if we get a football and just try the Yuttas and try to do something with that? And here we are. We got the Yutta ball, man. Let's go in a little bit more detail. So here's the original ball that we're going to be having on. No, this is an exclusive football on every Thursday night game where we'll have Color Rush. Color Rush is going to be coming back to the RFL, man. So every Thursday you're going to see Color Rush uniforms for teams, and they're going to be slinging around the Yutta ball, man. And the reason why it's a difference in color, because we wanted to color it like a yellow, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we got that light brown silk look to it. You know what I'm saying? We got yellow on there. League first on the football. Of course, it looks fire with the RFL logo in the middle. Commissioner Smitty. I don't write that good in cursive, so I didn't write that. But we took a nice little font that made it look like was like that with the handwriting. But this is the Yetta Ball that will be first premiering first Thursday, first game of the RFL season. So that's what we got right there. And then we have, of course, the Yetta Ball regular. So this will be in every other game that you see here. We have the capability of adjusting these footballs too. So when the Reload Bowl comes up, we'll have the Reload Bowl logo on the football. We can do pretty much whatever we want, man. So that's fire. And here's another look at the other side of the ball. We got Yetta again, and then the Relocation Football League as a whole just marching. And it's hard to see, but at the top where you see the air hole to pump the ball at, it has the RFL logo in black. So looking at this football, Zeke, man, what was your first thoughts when we dropped the Yetta Ball? I don't know if you was around when I first did the Yetta skit, but
Nah, I wasn't.
yeah, so
You put me on game. I was in the
yeah,
we was actually on call. So when I seen that, I was like, I was hype about the ball because first of all, just the whole mod in itself and seeing the RFL on there with the logo and everything is fire. So
yeah.
that's adding something in itself. You see everybody already hyped to even just play with the ball. But once you told me the backstory on it, it made sense, and I was like, oh yeah, they gonna love this. So
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of the Yetta ball right now, bro. League first.
yeah, man, this is
I see the
crazy.
hashtag Yetta in the
Yeah, let's
comments,
get
man.
hashtag Yetta in the comments, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we definitely need to Yetta. I'm trying to see if I can get these notes up. For some reason, they're not showing up on my computer. It's like they're not attached. So I got to use my phone for two different systems. But yeah, the Yetta Ball, man, it was fire, man. We just had to go ahead and bring that out. For anybody who's wondering the skit, if you do follow my actual personal page on Instagram, you'll be able to find the skit there. But yeah, so that's the football. That news was posted out just to kind of showcase the customization power now that we have for what we've been waiting for a very long time to be able to do with the game of Madden. So that's the first thing that was unveiled about 4 or 5 days ago. All right, so now the Yetta Ball has been revealed. Let's go ahead and get a look at the next big thing, which is the RFL realignment. So the teams, most of them are the same. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but here's a look at the in fact, that's the new alignment. So let me go ahead and show the old first. But this was the original alignment of the divisions and the conferences here in the RFL. One thing that will never change in the RFL is the teams that are attached to the conference. So you'll never see an ARC team ever become an NRC team. What will change is the realignment. This is officially our second official realignment because our first alignment came first in season 4. Before that, I had no geological knowledge, really, to be honest. And I just threw any team anywhere when I first started this league, and it didn't even make sense that you had to travel all the way from Florida to play a team in Cali or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So the whole divisions was messed up when I first started it. Then we realigned it and we made it make more geographical sense. But now this year, it has been a completely different change. Now that we have all powers, guess what? We don't got to worry about no more. We don't got to worry about same city teams. We are going to keep one city with 2 teams, though, and that's London. And those 2 teams, they're not changing, so I'll let you know what those 2 teams are. That's the London Black Knights and the London Monarchs. So those 2 teams will stay the same. Same city teams are moving. Now, I'm not going to tell you what cities they move to because that's going to be just more excitement for the next piece of content that we do drop for you guys. Just kind of get an idea based off of where they are in alignment. Okay, maybe they went with this city. Maybe they went with this city. That's what it's going to be. What I can tell you, I wish I had a cursor that I could show you guys where I'm pointing at, but if you're looking at the original the original division alignments, right? You're looking at the South and you're seeing 2 teams that are blacked out. So what 4 teams used to make up the South that are getting replaced? Obviously, it was the Wizards and the other one, I'm blanking already. It was the Miners are still here. Wizards and the Lancers, yeah. So the Wizards and the Lancers. The team with the circle and the star in the middle that you could see a little bit from there, that's going to be the Wizards. And the team with the head looking thing, that's going to be the Lancers. So we haven't revealed what those teams are going to be, But I will tell you guys this, there will be a reveal today. As you can see right here at the bottom, the Condors, we redesigned their Condor, their logo, which you can't see right now. We redesigned it because the original was, it didn't look nothing like a Condor, bro. It just was a straight up bird that was purple. You know what I mean? Came out here with a straight pigeon. Took a pigeon out of nowhere and just said, hey, man, make it purple.
I had to rock with it.
Yeah, just rock with it. So, like, we had to do something about that. Because I remember when we first dropped it, everybody was like, this doesn't look like a condor at all. What's going on here? So now we got the new logo that's going to look more like a condor. I don't think I added that to the new divisions, but here we go looking at the originals. You remember what this was. So boom, that's still up there. You can still get a look at this on the website. Now let's go ahead and get a look at the new division. So these are the new divisions, and you can see now there's a third logo. That is a C, obviously for condors. So we make it look like a bird, and we had the C in it. So that way it could be a double whammy in terms of its impact on how it's going to look, right? So
that's fire.
I'm about to reveal that after this, but before I reveal the Condors logo, I do want to go through a look at these new divisions. And then I know Zeke doesn't know too much about every RFL team because, of course, he just joined the staff and everything. So all I'm going to do is just off the top of your head from what you do know, just try to take a guess on what teams you think are, based off the alignment, are the front runners to win that division just off of looking who's there. So let's go ahead and start in the ARC and get a look at the North. So two teams that are staying in the North, as you can see here, the Huskies and the Cougars, a great rivalry in the RFL. New teams in the North, we have the Riverhogs and the Pioneers. But guess what? Those two used to be in the same division, and it was in the ARC West. So now we got two North teams, two West teams, and boom. When we get a look at this, what team out of those four teams would you say, just from what you do know about the RFL, would be a front-running team to win a division coming season 9?
I do like the Pioneers for sure.
Pioneers?
I do feel like, I think the Pioneers is going to make some noise this season. I think they might be a little, a sleeper in terms of just how far they could go. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I was about to say, yeah, I hope you're not saying they're going.
Yeah. No.
So he already showing. He don't know too much about it, but at least he does know. Pioneers, you can't really see too much on this team because, as we saw a little bit from last year, this receiving core, these guys do have a lot of an upside from what's to come in the future. You talk DJ Evans, who's in the chat right now, I believe. He gonna tell you, yo, we going to the bowl. He's already fired up and talking to me in the offseason, talking about, yo, who we gonna get? And it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to see, but we'll talk about what positions most likely we're gonna look to go at. But yeah, in terms of the front runners for me for the North,
who you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say I'm gonna take the Cougars. It's either between the Cougars and the Huskies. And the reason why I choose between those two, Riverhawks look pretty good, but they still got some question marks at quarterback from time to time with Jake McBride. But Geno Gannon had his worst year last year. The team had their worst year in a while last year. This is an opportunity for this team. I think it's going to be much different this season. And for the Huskies, if they still had the same type of Holden Wolf as last year, I would be saying the Huskies is running the North again. But I can't say that. And the reason why I can't say that is because now we got Calvin Poole. And although Calvin Poole was a first-round draft pick and very exciting, we got so much hope and we think he's going to be the next top-tier quarterback in this league, he's still pretty much getting his first go at things here in his second year in the RFL. So with that being said, do I think he's got the talent to outplay Geno Gannon right now? I don't think so. So I'm just going to go with the vet right now. Although he's had a tremendously, a terrible drop-off compared to years prior, I do think that the Cougars with him have the best chance of winning the ARC North next year. I guess I'll lead off in the future because I know you don't know too much, but I guess I could. Yeah. I'll jog some things, probably some memories.
Yeah, and then exactly.
So we'll now move down. Now we'll move to the South. So looking at the ARC South, so we have 3 teams that are still the same in this division, and that is the Dreadnoughts, the Voyagers, Armadillos. New team coming to the South from the East is the Orlando Sentinels, and That kind of adds a little bit of juice. Orlando Sentinels has been a team, up and down, but a little bit of consistency has made the playoffs. The team that with a roster that it seems to be declining each year, somehow they find a way to always be in a bit of conversation for the playoffs and stuff like that. But last year really wasn't too much of that case. They finally a little bit showed, their roster at that point. And so that really hurt them. The Voyagers had this division pretty much on lock. Well, if it wasn't for a certain team leaving the South, and that was the 3-time South winning champs at the time in the Sacramento Miners, who were now in the West. But now you take the Miners out of the South, who've won this division 3 times. You throw in the Sentinels, and now it's kind of like a nice balance free-for-all. So for me, I love the Voyagers. I think the Voyagers are going to be a team that are going to take this division, in my opinion. Of course, Dreadnoughts, they still got to show a lot. They still got to show a lot. I know that the roster has been thinning, and so hopefully they get that field in the draft, because, boy, Lord knows, they've got plenty of draft picks and early ones this draft. So I know Frankie's going to be looking, and he's going to be trying to hit, and he's going to build this team up. But the Voyagers, I think that's the team you go with in the South.
Yeah, the Voyagers definitely. I was going to say the same thing. I definitely caught a glimpse of them for sure all season. And then you also got to, like you said, take into consideration the Dreadnoughts being a dark horse team. They definitely can make some noise as well. So I would keep my eye on those Dreadnoughts. That's my dark horse coming out of that division right there.
And then we move on to the East. So the East, pretty much just like how the South, everything looking pretty much the same. The difference is the Bulls, who were once a part of the ARC North, come into this division, which is tough because it's always been between 2 teams, pretty much. The Celtic Tigers or the Bulldogs. Guess what? That rivalry is here to stay. It was the first ever Reload Bowl matchup. Same division. These guys have never left each other in terms of being division rivals. So with them being here, that's the front runners, in my opinion. Bulls are a great team to add to this division, right? But I just don't feel that they are going to be able to edge out the London Bulldogs. And I'm going with the London Bulldogs to win the East. And the reason why is because although the Celtic Tigers made it close last year and they're kind of like neck and neck, Celtic Tigers are constantly, it's probably the oldest team in the RFL. And they continue to regress slowly. They got some good pieces, but the Bulldogs, they're kind of in the middle, and they're youthful. So I think the Bulldogs, especially coming off a championship, you can't go against a team that just won the Reload Bowl this past season.
Exactly. My thoughts exactly on that one. Got to go with the champs. Got to go with the champs on that one, the Bulldogs, until somebody can show that they could take them down, But again, those Tigers, man, those Tigers, you got to always watch them. They're definitely there, but they just on the older side. They on the older side. Maybe I'm not too sure how their draft is looking, but maybe they start bringing some young guys in there. But they have been winning, so I'm not sure how that works with actual getting good draft picks and winning, ball games. So far, how that's been going out in the RFL. How has that been turning out in the RFL? Like, is it similar to real life? When you win a lot of games, championship, you don't really get the picks to
add
good talent.
One thing about the RFL that's kind of been something I've been I'm hoping that more of our guys that come in who are in these coaching / GM positions from before, that they actually make better decisions on player movement. Because that's been an issue, because a lot of guys have been making all these trades and they're trading to these top end teams, which is doing nothing but making the powerful teams more powerful. You think you're getting something out of a deal by trading for this player. Oh, I got this one good player, but you get him when he's 28, 29, 30. And although he might be at 85, 90 or above overall, you're still a mid-level team. And you just traded a first-round draft pick, a few of them, to a team
top squad
that was already top tier. And now they're picking up youth and first-round early draft picks because you were already a first-round early draft pick team, and you just gave that away to make this team much better. You look at
so you saying the Tigers could fall into that, huh? Like they could possibly strike a deal where, you know what I mean?
I mean, they didn't get so lucky. I mean, I didn't do that for CPU teams because, for one, I'm not trying to get over on. You know what I mean? Like these coaches at the time, you know what I'm saying? I don't blame them. If you can get the deal, it is what it is. You can't get mad at the coach who made the deal happen. Who you get mad at is the coach who actually put that through. You know, the coach, the one who said, "Okay, I'm willing to give this up. I think I'm getting the right player, the right stuff." And it's just like, yo,
Facts.
you're not. You just made this team worse. You're gonna be better, probably slightly better, but you just made the other team who just won a championship or just coming off their 5th straight playoff appearance. You just made those dudes that much better. And
Right.
so, when are you going to win a championship if you're going to keep giving these guys the draft picks? And so that's kind of the issue that's been going on in RFL, and that's more so of the reasons why I'm looking more so for guys who really know how to manage teams, man.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest issues when it comes to staff, and we'll talk about staff openings because we've made a lot of new changes for this upcoming season. But
Yes, we have.
guys are like, I just need competent guys who aren't just treating this like it's Madden, looking at shiny new toys, just trying to trade guys away. And although we have a trade committee, if it's something that's not too bad, you know, it's not like we can't let it still go through, because it's like we have to still allow coaches to make errors, but then that's what gets you fired. You know, if you're making
Right.
terrible decisions and you're messing up a franchise, at some point now that we got owners involved with this, I'm gonna be looking at the owner and be like, hey, matter of fact, the owner is pretty much the GM. Now,
Hey,
you don't got to do that.
Pat
We'll
said,
get into
nah.
it.
He said, keep sending them picks to the Explorers,
Yeah,
man.
I was just about to list teams: Explorers,
He said,
Thunderbirds,
keep sending them over.
Bulldogs. Yeah, like y'all traded these are teams that have all won a championship, and guys have traded them 1st-round draft picks like it's candy.
Right, just
Don't do
gifting.
that, man. Any new guy that's about to come in here, because I got some interviews this weekend, don't come in here making no wild coyote moves like that, man. Please.
Yeah, man, come in and stand on your own too, guys. You know, have a game plan, put together a team. You know, don't just start giving guys away for nothing. You know, or just because you think it's something to do or cool to do, or you just want to make a move. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's another thing. We got long periods sometime in the RFL. Some dudes get so excited. Oh, I just want to make some news. Let me go.
you feel me? Yeah, just want to make a move.
Sit
Like,
back, bro. What are you doing? Like, you good. You don't need to make a move. I'm tired of that. You don't see me when I'm handling CPU teams, bro. I'm not making those moves. That's why you notice competition has gotten a lot tighter for these weaker end teams, because I've actually been developing my guys. I've actually been developing talent,
right.
not trading them away. These guys, you look at teams like the Monarchs, who used to be in this category. The Pioneers are what you're just talking about right now. These guys have been coming up because I've been developing those draft players. Coaches need to do the same. Owners need to do the same. Like, this is what we need to have happen a lot more in the league. Come on, man. So
No, facts. I agree.
That's the main thing. I think we struggle with, to make things happen. But it's all really on the coaches and the owners. But looking at the West, new teams, because the Bison's always been in the West. Yep, Red Dragons. New team is Aviators. They were from the North, and of course the Miners are from the South. Now, a little bit more competition, would I say, for the Miners? I don't know.
I'm still going with the Miners.
It might, yeah. In this case, I'm going to go with the Miners to win the West, because, in my opinion, although the Red Dragons have won 2 championships to tie with the most, this Red Dragons team has been slowly on a decline. Again, in the same kind of sense, same kind of situation as the Celtic Tigers when it comes to aging players. And Coach Davis, I feel he knows he's got to hit hard on this RFL draft that we got coming up, because if he does not, then this is where the team is just going to be stagnant, just keep getting worse and worse. And I feel like the Miners are on the up and up. They just need to learn how to win in the first round of playoffs. That's the only thing.
That's what comes with development. I think my boy Miles is ready to go. He locked in.
Yeah, man. To make 3 straight, it's hard to. I feel bad for him, right? Because it's like they had so much pride in that team. That's what I want guys to have. But the only thing about the Miners, man, and I know it hurts for them, is to win the division 3 straight times, and then get in the first round and lose 3 straight times. It's almost like you can't even brag about winning the division. You can't win.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it sucks. You know what I'm saying?
It does. But I think this could possibly be their year. I don't know, Smitty. I think I got a good feeling about those Miners this year. I really do. Yeah. I think those boys is ready to cook.
Look, man, we ain't expecting you to win no Relocation Bowl. All we want,
you feel me?
In the first round if you get there. 3 straight years. I know Coach Dunn. He's going to be OD sick if he loses 4 straight times. This guy has lost in the first round the same amount of times as Ohio State has won a national championship in the RFL College Series. So it's like
Sheesh.
ever since that streak began, that streak began. So somebody's got to change that. Just like somebody in the College Series next year has got to change Ohio State from winning 4 straight
Oh yeah.
natties. So
Oh, and they coming for him.
yeah, so we'll move on now to the NRC. Okay, so the blacked out logo in the North, that's the Lancers. So we'll recommend them as knowing the Lancers roster. We got the Explorers and the Barons are still in the same division. So that's good. But guess who else joins the North? It looks like the NRC North is still stacked because we got the Gunners coming in here who've had a nice little storyline with the Explorers, So this is going to be a really good, interesting division. Who am I going to go with in this division? I think you got to go with the Explorers, man. Last year still was a great year, but just a tough inning to lose in a close fashion like that. But this is still a team and the only team in RFL history to ever go undefeated and win a championship. So then they still have that talent and a little bit more better talent, I think. And we don't know what they're going to get out this draft. So looking at that, I'm definitely going to go with the Explorers to win the North.
Yeah, I mean, normally I'd say the Gunners for obvious reasons. If you know, you know. I got my OG over there, Jackson, doing his thing. But and then you think about Tyler Cage as well, man. You still got to keep an eye on that kid because he's not done yet. He's not done. He's just getting started. He's heating up. Had a great rookie season as well. So I definitely love the Gunners. Of course, y'all already know I'm backing up over there. Probably for life. They got me as a lifer. But Explorer, yeah. But the Explorers, man. I mean, what can you say? Those are the guys, man. I got the Explorers coming out of that North, that NRC North.
And then we get a look at the South. Now this gets a little bit interesting because we kind of wanted to see a matchup between the Diablos and the Thunderbirds last year, right? And I think that's the only two teams you look at in the South to be like for sure one of them's going to win it. But you got to go with the T-Birds. They just went to the Relocation and they lost. Diablos have to show that they can beat the Thunderbirds. But the cool thing about it now, instead of just showing them one time in the regular season or in the postseason, you got to face the Thunderbirds twice. So at least this is another tough team. And I think this will probably be a big rivalry moving forward. The Diablos and the Thunderbirds playing each other. And honestly, you look back in history, it was the Diablos that beat the Thunderbirds to go to the Relo Bowl back in Relo Bowl 2. And that was LC3's rookie season. And so here he is still with the squad, and now they're part of the division. Got to see twice. That's going to be pretty interesting. But I'm taking the Thunderbirds as the front runners.
Taking the Thunderbirds. I think I'm a front runners of the South. You know what? On this one, I'm gonna go with the Diablos. I think the Diablos is going to shock them this season. They're going to get that division, and I do just want to watch the development and growth of the Tigers as well. I see them in the cut.
Yeah, they've been looking good.
I'm interested and curious to see what the Tigers are up to, but I'm going with the Diablos, Smitty. I gotta go with the Diablos. Shout out to the T-Birds, but I'm rocking Diablos.
And then we get a look at the East, the NRC East. Everything's the same except for the team that is blacked out. That team is the Wizards. So imagine the Wizards roster. We got the Steamers, Shamrocks, Marshalls, and of course the replacement for the Wizards. And looking at this, obviously you got to go with the Steamers. Steamers were fire last year. Every team in this division is kind of like up and coming, but the Steamers have the East on lock still, in my opinion.
Easy. Steamers all day.
And the only division that did not change at all in the RFL after the realignment is the West. So we still got the Condors, we still got the Lancers, we still got the Crusaders, and we still have the Elks. And so that means this rivalry is going to last longer than any in the RFL up to this point since the first realignment. So who do I have in there? The Condors, Elks, Snowhawks, Crusaders. Well, Crusaders is the only one who hasn't won the division, I don't believe, yet. But they might have in the fifth. I might be blanking on that. But I believe every team in this division has won it.
What about the
last
Snowhawks?
4 years. Snowhawks definitely have won because they went.
Okay.
They've won it before.
Okay. I got them going this year too.
Yeah.
Well,
I have to go with the Snowhawks, man. The Snowhawks. I think that's going to be the team. Condors, great, but man, these guys always find a way to win. But I feel like the Snowhawks, this is going to be the year where they get things together, and they should show that they are the dominant team that we've been expecting them to be. This division should be just relatively easy for them, to come out with victories in. But again, you can't sleep on them, of course. But Snowhawks should have the West on lock.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the Snowhawks on that one too.
And with that being said, you see the 3 blacked out logos. Well, before I reveal the Condors logo, let's look at the ARC and let's look at the NRC one more time. And based off of what you've seen, what division from each conference do you think is the best after the realignment? Probably want me to go again, or are you good?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go because
probably shouldn't be putting Zeke on the spot like this. But I'm gonna say
because I'm looking like now it's.
Let me see in the chat. Who do you guys think from the ARC and the NRC? Because before the realignment, we already knew what the best divisions was. It was both the Norths.
I'm gonna go NRC South, Smitty. I'm gonna go NRC South. I like NRCs because I like the T-Birds, I like Kai and them, and I like the Diablos.
It's a pretty good.
That's 3 strong squads. I feel I'm gonna go with the South, and then we'll see.
And then for the ARC,
but as a whole, I'd probably say it'd be the North or the South for sure. I'm gonna go with the South though. I'm gonna stay South on both sides this year.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the South for NRC.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go with the East for ARC. I think the East, you bring in the Bulls.
The East, okay.
Team. Celtic Tigers and Bulldogs already make it tough, but now I think you throw in a mix with the Bulls, and the Black Knights are starting to come up. As they shocked us last year with the season they had. So I think the East is the best now in the ARC, and the South is the best in the NRC. And after we ended off with the West being the only division to not change up, now we get a look at the new Condors logo. And here we go. There's no sound effects to this, by the way. I did talk to Guy about adding that to it. I'll drop a video with the sound effects later on. But I'll also, when I do get that, I'll be dropping that on the social media accounts. Here's the Condors logo.
Charlie Dodson. What up, Charlie? Drum roll.
Again, no sound to it. Should throw in some epic music. But there it is. Sacramento Condors. I'm going to just keep this on repeat for a little bit. But that looks a lot more like a condor. And shout out to C Beazle, because ain't nobody making our logos but the bees. And so this is the new Condors logo. You can see Beazle in the chat too. He wanted to show up. Yeah, let's get hashtag bees in the chat, man.
You already know. Yeah, bees said his joint was. He said his joint was going in and out. He back. What up, bees?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Shout out to bees, man. Yeah, so like you already know with how creative he is. Already can imagine. Just imagine what we're gonna be dropping in terms of uniforms in the future, guys. Like, y'all don't have a clue about how fire these uniforms gonna look. I don't think there's a single uniform that you're not gonna like. All right?
They don't have a clue.
And I'm gonna let this Condors logo repeat one more time. That is the logo, man. And yeah, that's fire.
I see you, bees. I see you.
He said, "You're."
I see you, man.
And so that is the new Sacramento. The new Condors logo. That's a team that will be moving out of their city, though. We'll say that. All right. So next deal that we have here. Let me see. We now move on to. Oh yeah. I also wanted to announce that with the realignment, guys, the other 2 teams that I didn't show, they will be getting released. All right. So tomorrow and the day after. So tomorrow I talked about how the Condors had their new logo, which just got revealed. Tomorrow, today the Condors got revealed. Tomorrow, the Marshals, folded. Let me give myself a bail. Well, Man, I folded
Oh
bad. Did I just say
man,
that?
you did.
Well, you know what? It's
Well, we can
still
forget
cool.
it.
No, it's good because you know what? I was thinking. I was kind of
Right,
the reason. Another reason why I said it because I was teetering as to why am I holding back from saying what the teams is when they don't know the logo. But I kind of
right.
messed it up. I will at least say that.
Dang,
So I brought back a team. I gotta play another bell for myself. Why I do that, dog? Oh my god, you.
goodness, man.
No,
In the
I
moment, locked
folded.
in.
Man, I was talking to him. Like, make sure you don't say nothing, man. And I took a L.
He
But
done took the L.
at least you know what teams getting revealed tomorrow. You don't know what the logo look like. What I'm not going to reveal is the new team that's coming to the RFL that was never part of the RFL, and that's going to be on Friday. So the Marshalls is coming, guys, and they're coming back because they haven't been a part of the RFL since season 5. They only played in
Mm,
season 2, 3, 4, 5 was their last. So they played 4 years in the RFL. Then they got changed to the Wizards, but guess what? They're going to still be that Wizards rosters. They're still going to be that Marshalls roster back in the day because it's the same team, just 4 years later. So they're coming
nice.
back after 4 years, and boom, we now got
Let
the
me.
Marshalls.
Could I ask what went into that decision to bring him back? Was that
Well, I always wanted to because I never really liked the Wizards.
Oh,
I
okay.
never wanted to get rid of the Marshalls. The only reason they got kicked off from the RFL was literally because this was when I don't know what was going on. EA for some reason took out the Conquistadors and the Marshals, and a lot of people were saying they did that because at the time they had a lot of police brutality going on. So they took the
Word.
Marshals out because it had something to do with the law, and then they took out
Okay.
the Conquistadors because of what was going on with the Washington Commanders to have them change their name to that because they used to be the Redskins. So
Oh, okay. I
it's
see.
crazy how
So
they take those two teams out. So I'm like, everybody was speculating saying, yeah, that's the reason why they took them out, which didn't make no sense because who would have
right,
cared? Nobody would have cared, and whoever plays Madden
man.
and uses the relocation teams. So we had to get rid of them and replace them, unfortunately. And we ended up both of those teams was actually in the RFL too. The Conquistadors, that's a team I'm not bringing back. And that's what brought the Miners into the RFL because they wouldn't have been a team.
Mm,
They weren't originally part of it. Shout out to Dunn because he kind of was just like, hey, what about the Miners? So I guess you could
right.
say the reason why the Miners are a part of the RFL is because of Dunn and that happening. So
Hey, okay.
yeah,
Shout out
so
Dunn. Yeah, no, that's what's up. The miners are dope, so I'm glad that change happened. But I'm hyped to see the new squads though, man.
yeah,
I'm hyped.
man, I'm excited. I can't wait to show y'all. But let's go ahead and hop in and talk about the new staffing positions of the
Hmm.
RFL. So before we used to only have where you could be a head coach, you're controlling everything. You're putting in the game plan. We didn't have customization where you had to, as a head coach, you had to do your practice. Had to handle your in-game duties, and then that was pretty much it. And you select a playbook. And that's what limited the RFL because last time the RFL had custom playbooks or even used them was only one season, really, which was back in season 3. And there was 2 coaches at the time that used this book. And both of those coaches ended up making it to the Reload Bowl. So that goes to show you the significance of what a custom playbook can do to make a team more competitive. Now that custom
Hmm.
playbooks are back, now that we are moving to PC, that has opened up a lot. That has allowed us now to bring in coordinators. That has allowed us now to bring in to have coaches, and that has now allowed this ownership position because I wanted to expand the staff where if you wanted to be an owner and you were able to pass all the steps and everything, you could check all of this out on the website to see if you qualify and if you want to apply for a position. Make sure you read the page first before you apply. Because anybody come to me talking about, yo, is this free? No, it's not. As an owner, it's not free, right? But in order for you to be a staff member, you have 2 options. One, an owner has to appoint you for a position. So, say for instance, you want to be a head coach or a coordinator. An owner has to reach out to you and say, "Hey, I want you to be my coordinator." Or you, if you want a job for one of these owners, go reach out to who's an owner and say, "Hey, I'm applying to be a head coach or a coordinator, or I've already been approved to be one, and I'm looking to try to be one for your team. I like your roster, and what I mean, I think I can design a book or at least lead this team as a head coach with doing the in-game duties enough to make sure that this is a successful team or to make it better." That's what you can do. When you get accepted under an owner, you have no financial obligations. Now, what I mean by that is the only person who pays to be in the RFL at this point as one of those staff members is the owner. You have to pay a yearly fee based off the team to own that team for that year. And let's go ahead and talk about the ownership position first. So say, for instance, back in the day, once again, head coach used to do everything. You can no longer just do everything in the RFL. The only reason the original coaches are getting that leniency this year is because I just brought this to the forefront. They didn't have enough time, of course, to look for everybody, but that is not the method we're going to be looking for forward. I want guys to be able to hire staff, get head coaches, get coordinators, and build up from there, right? So the current owners are the ones who's going to be doing everything right now still like how we used to for the head coaches, only because they didn't have that much time, and only if they didn't get anybody, right? So you have to, if you're looking to try to be an owner right now, you cannot just come in by yourself and be like, oh, I'm about to run it too like them. No, you're not. You have to come in and find a coach, have somebody in mind to apply for a coach who's already been approved or anything, or something like that, because you cannot do it all by yourself no more. So as an owner, if you wanted to chill and not do anything, you just wanted to own the team, you can do that. But you also got to be able to pass the interview and everything. And I have to see you as fit as somebody who I would like to be an owner. You can't just be somebody who owns a team and you're not present. That's not happening no more. If you're not active within this community as an owner, I will strip you of your ownership. And another thing too, to make sure we're getting legit guys, is first-time owners have to pay the entire fee up front. You're not going to just come straight on and pay the monthly fee like the current coaches are doing now, because they've done their time. They've lasted at least a season or more in the RFL, right?
Right.
So they've already shown they're committed. A new guy coming in, the lowest fee you got to pay up front is a $600 fee for a bronze tier team. What I mean by bronze tier team, there's tiers to teams. So a team that hasn't been too successful, it doesn't have a nice rep for themselves, no big, prestige to it, you have to pay the $600 fee up front. And that's honestly the regular fee anyway for what it was for coaches at the time. So you pay that up front. Another thing too is I know a lot of guys just ain't going to have $600 off the rip just by themselves. You can co-own an organization with somebody, up to 4 people total. That includes you. So if you got $200 and you like, yo, I got 2 other homies with $200, hey, let's all put up $200. You know? So you don't have to just own the team by yourself. You can get a group of guys to be like, hey, we want to control this team and we got the money for it. So all of you guys would put your bread up and then you will own that team. And once you have lasted an entire year, not a season, y'all don't just get on the monthly fee after you do the payment. You pay it up front. Once you last an entire year in the RFL, then that's when I'll be like, okay, now you can get on the monthly plan.
Thanks.
Right now, for it always used to be $600 a year, right? And that $600, of course, a year amounts to $50 a month, right? So the difference is that was for every team, but now I've put tiers to teams. So what I mean by I put tiers to team, I talked about the bronze team, which is a team that's not that known, doesn't have too much pizzazz to it. You know what I'm saying? That's the best word that came to mind just now. But that's $600. The next team is a silver standard team. Silver standard team, tier, whatever you want to call it, that is $800. And an elite team, which is a team that right now is ready to win a Relo Bowl, has established itself. Some of these might not even be available. That is $1,000, right? That has to be paid up front if you're seeking to be an owner of one of these organizations, right? So if not, sorry, can't add you, right? It is what it is.
At the end of the day, it is what it is.
That's gonna let me know who's serious. Because if you're gonna put your bread up first, because there's a lot of guys who play in the monthly, then they're I'm out of here, and they're ruining teams. That's not happening no more. So you either gonna put your money where your mouth is, put it up front, and show me that you can actually run an organization, and you're not doing this for just fun. Well, I mean, fun. We all want to have fun here, right?
Right.
We all want to have fun. But at the end of the day, this is a business. This is a business. RFL is an LLC. You feel what I'm saying? We're trying to build this to be something. So if you're trying to get in the business, you better have a business mindset and operate this like you in the NFL, homie. You feel what I'm saying? You can't be coming in here acting like it's a regular Madden league. Because the minute you come in here doing all this crazy stuff, promise you, I'm taking your bread and you out of there. Like, bro, I'm telling you, that
I'm
has to
weak.
happen. Because this is
I'm
this is
weak.
a real contract. This is a real contract. I'm upfront with you. I ain't gotta lie about nothing. If you really think you can take on this responsibility, then you better be ready to put your bread where your mouth is. That's all it is. Because you will
Yeah.
not be getting a refund. That is within the application, right? And it's crazy because out of the kindness that I have for people, a lot of times, there's some people, Z, can you believe this? Some people would apply making players and not even read. Because the minute that you apply to make a player, this money, which is in the contract when you read it, which is in the document, is not refundable. You know how many? I gave every single person a refund anyway. But just know that I didn't have to do that. I did not have to do that. That's all I'm saying. So I'm looking out. So
Nah, for sure.
but
You've
that
been
will
the
not
good
be
guy.
the case for the owner. Tell you that right now.
You
No,
tried
not
the
be,
good guy route. They already know
yeah,
you're not taking that route. You said, you
yeah,
know what? I'll be the good guy. I'll be the
yeah.
good guy. And it
That's dead.
never
But
works out.
yeah, pretty much. As an owner, you're appointing guys. Now it's up to you. Say for instance, an owner can be a head coach. An owner can be a GM. You can be all of that at the same time. You could be an owner, you could be a head coach, you could be a GM, but you need to have somebody else at least running one side of the ball as a coordinator, right? So say for instance, you don't have nobody who like a head coach or nothing, or you want to run your own offense. Technically, okay, now you're the offensive coordinator / coach, but somebody's got to run the defense, right? You can do that as an owner. If you don't want no hands on it, then you got to hire somebody at each of those positions. You can be your own GM as an owner, which is just you making decisions on to who you want to draft, stuff like that. Pretty much making the top decisions and letting guys know like, yo, I don't like the decisions you're making. I'm about to fire you or keep the job, keep up the good job, whatever you want to do. So you could be that owner. So that's pretty much what an owner does. But you have the final say so. And as you can see from here, you're the only one who wins rewards based off of your team's success. So as an owner, if you were to hire a head coach or a coordinator, there's going to be payouts now this year for guys just making the playoffs, right? If you make the playoffs as an owner, you get a certain amount of money. If you make it far, if you win a Reload Bowl, I'm telling you guys right now, $500 is the total amount for the Reload Bowl winner for season 9. So if you get there, you're going to win a total of $500, right? I can't remember the rest of it from there, but that's pretty much whatever you paid back if you were near the $600, right? So all I'm going to say is you guys have the decision based off of what you want to do with your payout. So say, for instance, you win the Reload Bowl, you win $500, but you ain't do nothing for the team. You could be that owner and be like, hey, man, I paid for the team. I ain't giving y'all nothing. I appreciate it, though. You know what I mean? At least we had good times. It was fun. You know what I'm saying? You could do that if you wanted to, because you don't want to put the bread up for the team. Or you could be like, hey, I appreciate y'all. Out of this $500, I split 100 off from everybody, or whatever you want to decide to do with that earnings, you can do. All right. So that's what an owner can do. Now let's go ahead and move into a head coach. A head coach role is stripped down a lot more than what it used to be. Of course, the head coach role before, you should just be pretty much everything. You were GMing, you was handling the team. Head coach now, if you don't have a coordinator on one side of the ball, then you have to be that guy, right? So a head coach is going to be handling all in-game situations. So you're going to be handling the practice. You're going to be the one coming up with the schemes. You're going to be the one handling the depth chart. You're handling all in-game responsibilities, right? And you have the final say so over the coordinators that you have to decide, okay, I like this playbook, we're going to keep with it, or I don't like this playbook, you got to do something about it, right? So that's what a head coach is in charge of, handling in-game duties and making sure that you're communicating with your coordinators to make sure that you put the best product forward. And if you don't have on somebody again in another spot, then you have to handle that decision.
So just a question. So I see here with the team, coaches, so you do have a better shot at becoming an owner if there's available spots. If you like, did you have to coach for a certain amount of years or?
Yeah, so say for instance, if you got the bread to be an owner right now and you're dead serious about this, um, just I say just apply just to see, because you're gonna hop in an interview with me anyway,
Right.
and when you do, based off of certain factors. I'm not gonna give anything away because I want to know if you genuinely know about the league. I want to know if you genuinely like really about this, or you just throwing bread down. One thing I will tell you right now: if you just think you're gonna put bread down and you're gonna just do whatever you want in here, that is not happening. Because the minute that you act like that, bro, I'm kicking you out. You just lost 600, 800, or $1,000 you just put down. Again, that's in the
Man,
contract. So that's why you got to really be on your stuff. Because
right.
if you're playing around, think you can't be told nothing just because you put some bread down, nah, you're out of here. Like, I'm not playing. You're done. So you
Right.
have to really be serious when you apply for this. But if you feel like you know, oh no, I'm really about the league. I know what to do for the team. Then come on board, apply for a ownership position. At the very least, I'll just tell you no.
Right.
Or what I mean. I can tell you no, but I don't mean you can't apply to be a head coach. I don't mean you can't apply to be a coordinator. When you do play at these positions though,
Hmm.
at these staff positions as a head coach or a coordinator, that shows me how dedicated you are, and you have a good chance of elevating in your staff so that if you apply to be an owner and I've seen the work you've done, it's a lot more easier for me to
Right.
say, hey, I want you to own a team, as opposed to somebody new just coming in here. Right now, it's kind of, if you're new and you're really serious about this, like, this is a good chance. I got like I said, this weekend I got a few owners, a few people who already has applied to try to be owners. So
That's
I'm
fire.
talking with
Let's
them,
go.
and we're going to see how that goes. So we might have a new guy in here that doesn't even know too much about the RFL. So I'd say this is probably the best chance to try to be an owner in the RFL. But just know, you can't just come in here doing what you want. That's
Right.
bottom line.
And then what's the ultimate relationship with the coach and the owner? Like, is there ever a time the owner can step down and be like, address, certain situations going on the field, or is that strictly the coach's job?
Yeah, the owner at that point, if you don't like something,
I
it's
mean,
up.
since you paying, you
Yeah, you
just
the one
if
paying. You don't like your head coach.
right.
Now you guys gonna
Now what
understand the
if the coach is
position,
paying?
huh? No, if the
Now
coach is
what if the
paying, then
coach
he's
is
a
paying the
co-owner.
200?
He's a co-owner.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So at that
okay,
point,
okay.
so if you to have the majority decision of what is done for the team. So say for instance, okay, I don't have the entire 600 to own this team, but I want to be the main guy who has to say so, right? You got to
Okay.
talk with your co-owner guy and say like, look, whoever has the highest percentage down paid on it, that's the main guy, right?
Okay.
So if the thing's $600, main guy, if you got two guys, you got to put up $400, right? Or and it has to be more than the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got more than the other guy, then you have majority say, but that guy co-owns with you. And based off of how many people are co-owning that team with you, we'll split the money. So if it's $500 and you got two guys, $250 a piece. It's paid out that way. Like, you're not going to
Right.
have any say based off of how much you get, but it does depend on how much you put down. So if you were paying, let's say $400, that's 66% of the $600, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you will get 66% of $500. So
Okay.
based off your investment, that's what you're going to be getting back off the earnings. So, but if you want to be the main guy, but going in with somebody, you have to put up the most money. Another thing
Okay.
is if you have three guys with you, an odd number, and y'all can't decide on stuff, y'all button heads. First of all, that's most likely gonna have somebody bow out and be like, yo, I'm not doing this no more. So most likely somebody's gonna leave. But if y'all, what will come down is, say for instance, two guys against one, it comes down to a vote, be like, nah, I want to do this for my team. Then a majority of vote wins. That's the stuff that's what happens with that. If it's four and y'all split head to head, somebody gotta figure something out. Somebody gonna have to figure something out. And I'm just gonna, if it gets too crazy at that point, then I just have to step in and try to handle the situation of whatever it is and see what can be done about it. And if we can't get nowhere, then I don't know. We'll see what the situation is. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the head coach. Now the coordinator's job is solely to assess what your personnel is, what you want to do with your team, right? Your schemes and stuff. Although the head coach is in charge of that stuff, you are the one who creates the playbook. You have to know how to create a playbook. If you don't know how to create a playbook in Madden, you've never done one before, That doesn't say you can't get the job, but if you're trying to be a coordinator, learn how to do that. All right, because that's what you're going to have to do. I'm still looking into what rules I'm looking to add to this, so that way I can have it where what's it called? I don't want, like, of course, any cheese plays. It's hard to cheese in a sense on simulation gameplay anyway. So I mean that's a good thing about it, but I'm sure there's a way you can do that. So I don't have all the rules just yet on that. We're going to test that out, and we're pretty much going to use the Madden cooldown to kind of limit that stuff. So just know that as a coordinator, you have to know how to create a book and how the system works. And first off, if a coach appoints you for this position, I hope that he assessed you and said, and have already seen and know that you know how to do this. Because if he's just throwing anybody on there and he don't know, be like, oh, I want to play, I want to be your coordinator, and then he'd be like, okay, bet, just apply and I'll add you on. And then he comes to me in the interview and he's talking about, I'm like, okay, so have you made a book before, man? How you do it? So no, I've never done that before. I don't know, you know anything about schemes? You know anything about? And they don't give me no answer. I'm like, yeah, you're not getting approved. And as an owner too, just to get back to that, you cannot get approved just because the owner wants you to be their his head coach or his coordinator. You cannot be that unless I approve you. So that interview process is you have to get through me to let me, so that I can see that you're competent enough to just get in to get in here and be a coordinator or head coach, right? Because things before, guys used to hire their friends or something, add their peoples on, thinking that, oh, they about to, we about to kill the game. They just having fun, but you messing up teams. You don't really even know how to do the job. I'm not having that happen. So I want to make sure that the guy that you're appointing for this position knows what he's doing. That's part of the interview process. I want to make sure that the guy who's applying for this actually knows what schemes are, actually knows football. You know what I'm saying? So, like, please don't just add nobody to the team, owners. Just make sure that you have your own little interview with them that's along those same lines. So that way, when I get in there with them, they're not sounding like one guy I used to have that applied before, talking about, when I asked him, I said, yo, what kind of plays do you like to run? Dude said, run plays and pass plays. I said,
no, he didn't.
Yeah, he's not getting a job. Yeah, so
run plays and pass plays.
Yeah, that's when I was like, yeah, he's got
crazy.
So just make sure that you know what you're doing. Don't just apply. And if you are somebody who is just now getting into this, right?
Like, sir.
But you would like to be a part of this, you can still apply for these positions. And if I don't approve you, one thing I can do is, there's another position that's not on the website, is if you're known within the community, you've been a fan, and I've been watching and stuff, and I know you have aspirations of being an owner or head coach or something like that, I appoint CPU teams that are not owned general managers, assistant general managers. Now, the GM isn't just a guy. When I say assistant GM, general manager, I'm going to be the guy mainly doing the draft, but they can help assist me with that. They can tell me what guys are active that maybe I didn't think about picking up, even though I'm going to know the ratings and stuff because I have to, as a guy who makes the classes and stuff. This still is good insight, right? This guy can also, as an assistant GM appointed by me, you can also look around, shop around for trades. This is pretty much like you owning the team, doing stuff. But you're just reporting to me, making sure, like, seeing like, yo, I just talked with coach such and such. He said he's willing to move this piece. I think this would be a good piece for us. And, I hear out your deal, and I'm like, that sounds pretty good. Let's make the move. So it's pretty much like, because it's a lot of CPU teams I'm still going to have to manage regardless. And it makes it easier for me if I got other guys who actually have the same passion about the RFL to be able to jump in and be like, hey, I can help you make some more moves. Or oh, I think we probably should be doing something like this. Open my mind up to do some different things or whatever. And also, if you want to try being a coordinator as an assistant GM, say, for instance, this team's offense or defense is trailing, is not doing too hot right now. And I'm just like, hey, man, I already put my assessments down in my books. And you come to me and say, hey, I'm pretty good at defense. Can I be a defensive coordinator right now and make a playbook for this team? I might give you a shot. Just be like, hey, you know what? All right, cool. Make me a playbook for this team, and we'll see how it goes. So pretty much as an assistant GM, it's almost like you're getting an internship with the RFL. You're coming in and you're learning how to do things such as coordinate, head coach, GM, do all of that. And I want to give a shout out to the guys. I think I have so newly hired. So some guys who I've appointed this position. Shout out to Mac. Let's get Mac in the chat, who is going to be assistant GM for the Oklahoma City Bisons.
Hey, shout out to Mac, man. Y'all show Mac some love.
Let's give a shout out to Pat
Okay,
McNeil, who's going to
Pat.
be assistant GM for the Explorers. Of course, these are teams that are associated. These are people who are already associated with these organizations. And shout out to former coach of the Black Knights, who, he had his deal with us last time. Coaching first time around didn't go too well, but I was like, hey, you know what, man? I'm going to add him on and help him learn a little bit more of the ropes. Coach Carter is back, and he's going to be an assistant GM for the London Black Knights. So he's back in the fold, hoping to make him, be able to better see and be a better coach to potentially coach them again or some other organization in the future. So these are the new assistant GMs that I have appointed this position. Other guys who have been hired for the Sentinels, Coach Armstrong, who owns the team now. This guy has went full out and has already built his staff. He's got an offensive coordinator.
Nice.
And the offensive coordinator is Nick Firestorm, who used to be a coordinator for the Barons. We're not going to go into that stuff. But yeah, he used to be a coordinator for the Barons. And then a defensive coordinator he was able to get in Trauma, who helped us early on with the RFL modern, which we're going to drop to that we're putting for this new upcoming season for season 9. So he's already gotten both sides of the ball making custom playbooks, and he also has taken former head coach from last season of the Portland Riverhogs and Q, as we like to know him, Coach Q, Cubert, going over there head coaching the Orlando Sentinels. So he's filled his entire staff already. So shout out to him. I think there's other guys too. Let me see. Shout out to Miles McCain, who just yesterday was approved to be an offensive coordinator for the Sacramento Miners. So those are guys right now, and I will be posting. We're working on a graphic for this, but I will be posting, graphics with these guys being hired because I think it's cool to put you guys' faces out there, guys who are really associated with the league. We want you guys to be in the forefront. Understand that when you're a part of the RFL staff, one culture we're looking to move away from here is you cannot be a doormat. You cannot be somebody who's just going to be sitting here chilling. Nobody knows who you are. We've had some coaches that guys didn't even know was coaching the team. That's how inactive they were.
Oh, no, that's crazy.
We are not having that moving forward for what we've got in the future. So you need to be in the forefront, active within the community. If you cannot do that, you will lose your position. I guarantee you. So make sure that you are active, that you're doing your job. And these guys I seen were fit to be able to do that. Of course, they had to get approved by me too. And they were definitely fit to be able to do so. So shout out to those guys and best of luck to you guys as well for what you guys will be doing for those organizations. Let me see if there's any other things that I've improved. You got anything, Zeke? You seeing? Because
I just wanted to say,
Zeke, you can cipher through the chat too. Like if you see any questions or anything, I can answer.
Yeah, that's what I'm going. Yep, exactly. Nah, you good. Yep. Yeah, no, but shout out to y'all guys, man, getting those positions, man, getting those jobs. Well deserved, fellas.
Yeah, I think I hit everything.
Yeah, yep. Everybody's pretty much just showing love to everyone.
Yep. So those are all the guys I see also that are approved within the Discord. All right. So now we move on to. Okay, so all those positions, again, if you're looking to apply for these positions, it's on the website. Before you apply, read everything. All right? Because I'm going by what I got in that book, and it is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? So like if you apply and you're not following to these standards, I didn't know I was supposed to do that. Bro, it's right there on the first page when you go to try to apply to be a coordinator, head coach, or owner. Do your duty, because the minute you start falling apart and you're not on top of things, I will get you out of here, man. So please make sure that you are doing your duty. Okay, so we've done that. All right, let's talk about uniforms, man. So
Uh-oh.
we're almost done with uniforms, right? And with the uniforms almost being done, and I got something that's going to hype y'all up in a second. No, I'm not revealing anything today in terms of
You know,
uniforms.
there's waiting on that. It's like,
But
wait.
something that is going to still fire you guys up nonetheless. So
Drop
I
them
would
now.
say probably within the next week, we might be dropping some unis, man. So get fired up for that. I know guys been fired up to see what the RFL uniforms are going to look like. But we're almost done. Like we're right there, guys. Like right there. Just a few little minor tweaks. We've got a home, an away, and an alternate jersey for each team. And again, we're just fixing those little things on that to make sure that everything is straight by the time you guys see it. But what I will drop right now is I wish I could drop somebody mods get ready to copy this link that I'm about to send, because when I drop it, I'm pretty sure it's going to get buried in the chat. So this link that I'm about to post right now in the chat is a uniform pole vote. So this is what and shout out to King for creating this. This is going to be a Google document form where you are going to select the team that you would like to see first and a uniform you would like to see last, right? So after we get all the totals, that's how we're going to work around how we're going to go about revealing the team uniforms and which uniform teams we will be revealing. So I'm going to drop it right now, and that's the link. Go ahead and vote right now and on that document for what uniforms you want to see most and which uniforms you want to see last. So make sure if it gets buried, I can pin this. Matter of fact, I don't know why I forgot about that. Pin message.
Yeah, might as well pin it.
Yeah, I was bugging. And look, Michael King up about 3:00 in the morning. This guy's in Germany, 6 hours ahead. Dedication right there. This is why he's the guy, man.
Yeah, he is.
So shout out to Michael King, man, for creating that. But yeah, go ahead today and vote on what team uniform you want to see the most and the least. All right. I'm getting some question. Let me see. Gotta mute my laptop. That sound coming up pretty high. Let's see what we got next. And we will have an open questions at the end of this, guys. So
nice.
Like that's where I'm gonna really actually be looking in the chat, and then I'm gonna be answering whatever I can. I know Zeke's looking around for certain things, but I know it's gonna be moving pretty fast at the moment while I'm going through things. So we got the polls out there. Okay, information about the RFL draft. I'm really trying to aim for January 5th. All right, so I'll say mark your calendar more than likely for January 5th. I do not want to do a week later on the 12th. That's only if we have to and everything's just not completely done. I think we're looking pretty good right now. I do have to get with my graphic designer guys and stuff to try to put together the draft card graphics. That's really all I need. And I'm still working on the rookies. But shout out to Zeke, who's here with me right now, man. He was able to help build the base of the rookies for me. And now all I got to do is make sure I come up with the attributes, and then boom, 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 we going. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm really aiming for January 5th through the 7th. So coaches, I've already talked with them. Most coaches said, hey, I want to do it on the 5th. So I think that's going to be what we're going to hit, though, for real. So look out for that date. I've already announced the new head coaches, so I jumped ahead with that.
Yeah, they want to know about the awards. They want to know are the awards coming tonight?
Yeah, awards coming tonight is going to be the last thing. But I want to make sure I touch everything first and save that for last. So that's what we're doing. And I've hit everything RFL related. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and talk now about the college series stuff. So as we talk about the college series stuff, for guys who are just now tuning in, learning about the RFL joining, first of all, I want you to turn this up, man. We got 74 heads up in here. We had about 80 plus, and we got 30 likes. What's going on here? What's going on, man?
Right.
Turn this
we
up.
Gotta turn that. Yeah. Come on, y'all. We gotta turn it up a little bit, man. A lot of it. Let's hit that like button, fellas. Let's hit that like button, man.
Talking about 30 likes, boy.
We out here killing them right now. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, turn us up. We giving y'all some hot information right now, and y'all gonna hit us with 30 likes, bro? Steph Curry? Nah. We need to put up
Look,
points
Carly
like
said he
Steph
was
Curry, not
lacking.
the jersey. Let me
Right.
see. I'm trying to see if I can put something else up here since I don't have any.
Boys is in the building. I see everybody in here. Somebody wanted to know if the combine results was coming out next week.
So about the combine, unfortunately, guys, don't look like we're gonna have one this season because there's so much stuff that we have to do that I don't think I'm going to be able to get to it. I've already sent a message out to my coaches / owners and told them like, hey, with the stuff that I've got to handle, I don't have the time to recreate that class on PlayStation or whatever to get those times. So unfortunately, I highly doubt that's going to happen. If somehow we end up getting everything done early and we have the time for that, I will do that. I also wanted to do an all-star game and stuff like that, but do I feel like we have the time for that? No, I don't. So we're about to just go into the draft. I already talked about the coaches, where they can get their information from. You can see the stats. It's in the Discord where it tells you what the college series players are. And also for coaches and owners, I'm not giving y'all a free pass on learning what the players and stuff is too. Y'all need to be looking at the college series. How many coaches were showing up the college series, man? Hey, y'all better get on y'all
Okay.
game. This is the stuff
All
y'all
right
gonna
now.
have to do when y'all apply. For anybody new who's applying, make sure that y'all are staying on top of the college series too, but doing your job. The college series is very important. All right. So
Pull up.
let me see. Okay, so speaking of college series, if you're trying to get in this year's college series, now this upcoming year's college series is set to start in January. You need to apply by January 15th. That's 3 days from, is it? That's 2.
No,
2
December
days.
15th. December 15th.
So on Friday.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
wrap.
It's over with,
Will
fellas.
you,
The
baby?
15th,
I did
Friday.
that
We got to
Mariah
get those
Carey.
blast.
Yeah.
Hey, nah, you got to, if you go Mariah, you got to have to go up there.
Yeah, nah, I ain't doing that. Probably ain't gonna be picked up on the mic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got the windpipes though, so nah. Well, anyway, look, you guys need to be able to meet the deadline of the 15th. It's going to be all the way up until 11:59 p.m. If you don't get it in that day, you can't get in. But I tell you what's going to be good now that we're having the college series 2 times a year instead of once. January 1st, which would have been if we kept everything the same, the first day that applications would have opened for the next college series. That's going to be the first day that applications are going to be open for the next college series. So coming up is RFL College Series 6, but once January 1st hits, then it's going to be College Series 7. We're going to upload the application. Now, the application will be very different because it will be modified to what the new NCAA game will be. Less information, but that is really going to be first come, first serve. So when that drops, if you are not in the college series, you're looking to get in, you want to make sure you're one of the first ones to hop on and apply to be a player, because that's how you're going to be able to have, because whoever comes in gets first dibs on the player that they're going to be built over. So, hey, if you
because
last
that
in
CS7
line,
gonna be different.
yeah, if you last in line, that new NCAA game come out, man. Like I'm telling you, you're gonna be sick when you ain't got nothing but 70s to get built over. You know what I'm saying? So just understand that that's going to be the new system that's going to be dropping January 1st. But it's pretty much going to ask you basic information, right? Like what's your player name going to be? We're not doing the attribute thing, so this is why it's very important. You have to make whoever you choose is who your player is going to be starting out, right? And it's not going to be a real life player because we're simming into the future to the part where there's not going to be no real life players on there. It's going to be generated. So this is going to be a flat out generated roster. And at that point, you have to choose who's there.
Who's there, exactly. They want to know if well, obviously this guy, come on, Ronnie. He's getting drafted, but I guess that is a good question just in general. If so someone wants to know if you don't get drafted, will they still have time to make another player in time for the college series?
Yeah, if you don't get drafted, not for this year.
Okay.
You have to wait till CS7. You can apply for CS7. Because one thing is, if you get drafted by any means, it don't matter where, you have to serve your rookie contract. That's rule in the RFL. If you don't, and you fall into free agency, anytime that you fall into free agency, you can decide what you want to do with your player. You can retire your player right there. right? So, yeah, if you don't get drafted and you like, man, my player sucks, I don't feel like grinding doing this. Let's just create somebody else. You can do that. So, but unfortunately,
Right.
you won't be in that season's college series. You have to wait a year.
Right.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully you
guys.
get
So make
drafted.
sure, guys, Friday the 15th, that it will be the deadline to get in a new prospect for CS6, guys. And then just moving forward on that, I guess we want to stay right here on college for a second here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will be going live on my channel here on I'll be changing that up a bit, but for right now it is the Prime Football channel, guys, but I will be rebranding everything to RFL College Series. So I will be doing a live player creation the very next day. So right after the apps close on Saturday the 16th, I will be going live creating all the new prospects. So you guys definitely want to come in and see all the new guys getting built. And you got you new prospects. I know y'all been asking me, y'all been in the DMs tough, want to see your players and what they look like. So this is the time, Saturday, it will be going down and you guys will have a chance to see your guys being built over the prospects you're being built over and just get that first look. And then I will say after that, right? So after the 16th, after I create all the players, then Saturday or Sunday the 17th through next Sunday, the very next Sunday, the 24th, will be a new portal window for you guys. Because some of you guys joined the Discord and you probably seen some things going on versus a team you picked in the app. You might want to change. You might want to go somewhere else. So you'll have from the 17th, Sunday the 17th to Sunday the 24th to transfer. After that, all older prospects that don't like their current situation or want to transfer for whatever reason, you guys will have from the 25th Monday till the 31st next Sunday, the Sunday following that. So there will be a couple of windows opening up for you guys and availability for transferring. So I want you guys to lock in those key dates because I know you guys been asking me this a lot over the last couple of weeks, and I don't want to have to keep repeating it. So I just want to say one more time: apps close on the 15th. Player creation on Saturday the 16th. You got the first transfer window for new prospects only, 17th through the 24th. And older prospects, you'll have a window from the 25th to the 31st. And, if you want to move around or get with somebody else. After that, guys, it is closing up. We're closing up shop for all transfers. We have all destinations for all players. So do your last minute recruiting, guys. And it's about to get real, man. And just going back to what Smitty, you feel me? Going back to what Smitty said, depending on when the pros start, I don't know. I know he wants to go with the 5th, but just depending on that is when we'll get a official date for the college series.
Yeah, I
I don't know so
will.
if it was starting on the 5th, because I know I got here. If we started a little later, we had the college series starting around like January, 11th or somewhere
Yeah.
around that
So
area.
that's what I think that the RFL College Series 6 is going to start on the 11th regardless.
There we go.
So on the 11th of January, CS6 that Thursday, College Series is back and running. Now, that will be I do want it to fall in line where the draft happens. Boom, boom, boom. We all hype about the draft, and that Thursday, College Series, boom, hitting them in the head with
Boom.
that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
Because
all
this
right.
nonstop action, fellas.
Yeah,
Let's
nah,
go.
but nah, it's about to be crazy. Y'all don't even know what's about to come. But all I'm saying is that's how we want it to go. If it don't, it's still gonna be fire. Because then guess what? College Series, boom, on the 11th, first game. Guess
Mm-hmm.
what's on the 12th? The draft. Boom, boom, boom,
Yes,
3-day event. But
sir.
the only thing about that is I wouldn't want the draft, as long as the process as it is, to be running into the college series games at that point for the first opening week. So that's why
Right.
I'm really aiming for the 5th of January. And that's why now I'm thinking about it. It isn't 100% probably guaranteed that we will start the college series then on the 11th, but I would say it's about 95% that
95%.
we are going to go on the 11th
Right.
for CS6 to start up.
For sure. And my boy Chris, he want to know how would the RFL and CS games not clash in broadcast?
All right, so this is where it
Gotta
get
break it
fire.
down to them. You
This is
feel
where
me?
it
You
get
gotta break it
fire.
down. They don't know what's going
So
on.
this is where the
Oh man.
RFL is gonna take a crazy leap in terms of content and the amount of games and the immersion you guys are gonna be able to have. So we're gonna have primetime games for both RFL and college on Thursday, Friday, and Monday. Now on the weekend, to created to be parallel like it is in real life. All Saturday will be RFL College Series premiere games, followed up with Zeke closing it out with the primetime game with commentary. And all Sunday, just like the NFL, it's going to be all the RFL primetime premiere games, and then me closing it out with commentary. So the RFL will have all Sunday RFL content hitting. All Saturday, College Series content hitting. And on those primetime days of Thursday, Friday, and Monday, College Series game will be first, starting at what did I say, 4 or 6? It's one of those times.
It was 6.
Okay, so it's 6 o'clock. So you're gonna get a College Series game on the Thursday first, and after that's over, you're gonna see a pro game that I'm gonna be calling. So it's boom, 2 games on Thursday, College Pro, 2 games on Friday, College Pro, Saturday, all college games, just college game day for real. Sunday, all RFL games, RFL game day, and then we close out with the last 2 games of the week with Zeke calling the game of the week for the college, and me calling the game of the week for the pros. And then on Wednesday, just like how you see us here right now, we're gonna have a joint podcast where he's talking about College Series and I'm talking about the RFL, but we're gonna simulcast it. So I'll be here on my channel doing this, and you'll see the same thing on his channel, which is now going to be rebranded, like he said, into the RFL College Series. So that way, both channels getting some content. You know, of course, you don't want to spread out the content, but at least for guys who are new, who stumble upon either mine or his channel, it's cool because it runs seamlessly through week to week as to what the channels have on them. So that's how that's going to go. So it's going to be nonstop.
Oh yeah, they feeling that, bro. They like, ooh.
In the RFL. Yeah. College
pro, it's going to be nonstop. And
after that, you only get 1 season in the RFL. So 1 season a year of the RFL. So what's going to happen is during the off season, it's going to be a lot longer for the same length for the RFL. It's technically not going to be an off season too much for the channel, because guess what? At that time, when the RFL season ends, this is what God do with the timing, man. Let me go ahead and explain and break this down to you.
Go ahead and break them down.
Here we go. So, the college football game comes out July. Guess when the season ends for the RFL? July. And guess what? That's the off season, right? I'm going to be able to be with Zeke, helping him out, building, hurry up, getting the classes done. Now we can have dual commentary, do whatever we want on that new NCAA game. But guess what also comes with that? The NCAA game, we're going from 32 college teams in the RFL College Series to all FBS schools. So we're going to have all 130 plus schools in the College Series. One man and one channel can't record all of that. So guess what? Whatever games, we ain't going to be able to hit all games, though. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. We're not hitting 65 total games. There's going to be some games that's left out. Hopefully guys don't go to no real small trash schools, because most likely you're not going to get recording. But Zeke will catch all the big games on his channel and probably straddle a few, so I don't get all the trash games on there on RFL. But the rest will be getting streamed that I can handle on the RFL channel. So then at that point, pretty much the RFL channel doesn't change. You're going to still have college in the second half of the season on the channel, and then you're going to have the College Series channel, which is his channel, is going to have straight college 2 seasons in 1 year.
Right.
And that's fire.
That's fire, bro. And then, like you said, it just keeps the content flowing. Even for you in the off season, you still got some credible games you showcasing, you know, for the viewers and whatnot. And then they come over to college and they see all the big games. So just the content, the amount of content we're about to deliver to you guys, bro. Man, it's just setting it up for a crazy. It's just, bro, man, this is gonna be the breakthrough series right here. This is gonna be crazy for both college and pros. For both college and pros, just having those 2 college seasons in 1 year is going to be dope. I know a lot of these guys are looking forward to the Relo check-ins on those. Just being able to, you know, get so much content they can check into and look at. So it's just about to be hype, man.
Looking into as well, Zeke is going to. We was talking about this.
I got a rollout for you too.
So Zeke is coming up with a plan, so we're gonna create college series bucks of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what we came up with the name with.
I think
I
it
think
was
it's
like
just
I
CS
think it was
points.
college series point.
Yeah,
Yeah, CS
so
points.
CS
CS points.
points is pretty much going to be the equivalent to Relo bucks in the RFL Discord. So what happens is you only can get Relo bucks that comes into effect that you can use in the RFL Pro League if you come to RFL games and if you pay for RFL Patreon to build that up. Those
Mm-hmm.
points, whatever you get from the RFL there, you get to keep as a college prospect build up until you come into the pros. And of course, you know those get wiped out after one season.
Right.
So so that's going to be for the RFL. College series is now going to have its own points too, which is going to incentivize you guys to go over there to look at the college games, because now you got to pretty much look at both if you want to get paid some reloads. Because
Exactly.
if you watch the RFL games, yeah, I got you, but you're not getting any bucks to upgrade your player in college, right? But if you're watching college series games and you're in college, you can go ahead and do that. But if
Right.
you're in the RFL, you watching college series games, it's not going to be able to work over here, which kind of we'll figure something out for that. Maybe we can still have whoever's in the pro who watch college series games. You can have both,
Mm-hmm.
just so it can add to your overall total. So we'll have to figure that out. That's something I didn't think about, because
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't want
talk
it
about.
where it's just the college series guy going there and then the pro come a pro and then he don't want to watch no college games no more. And then
Right. Yeah,
you know what
we
I'm
need
saying?
them pro. We need the
Yeah,
pro
we need
support,
guys to be
man.
able
We
to
need
watch
y'all.
all of it.
Cause we know
So
y'all lit. We gonna be there. We gonna watch y'all for sure. We
yeah,
need y'all support though down here in college.
yeah. So that we're pretty much going to work out a system
We'll
like
figure
that.
it. Yeah, we'll
Based off of
figure it
where
out
you
though.
at though is going to be where what you're going to be able to use what you earn on, and you have to watch those level of games to earn that. So yeah, you guys show up to both.
Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be dope, and we'll have a Patreon set up too as well for the college series. So you know how that'll work. It'll be the very exact same setup as the RFL Pro series, and it'll be the same pricing, the same packages, everything the same. It's
Yep.
just literally we're changing the name of it and the currency. So they'll be on it. You'll be on a separate currency. You won't be on the reload buck, so it won't mess up anything you got going already in the server. It'll just be a separate thread and a separate currency that you will be following, which is be the college currency. So that's gonna be exciting, and that'll be like I said. You guys can sign up for the Patreon, same way, same packages, same deal, and you can upgrade your player. That's gonna go towards your college player, helping him perform better, ultimately helping us determine his play going into the pros, especially just for this one season, right? Because we're still in the mod and we still kind of trying to determine how players are going to play in the pros. But once that college game comes out, that's when it's really going to get real for you, and that's when you really want to Patreon up and really get your guy right, because we'll be exporting, importing players and stuff directly from the college game. So
Yeah.
if you have been upgrading your guy through Patreon in college, it's going to be the best bet for that build going into that import or that export into into the
Yeah.
pros.
So it's going to
So
be
you definitely
just
want to
as
pay attention.
important, I know some guys have a theory and things that's going to be different, but like at the end of the day, even if you're boosting your college guy, regardless, you're going to come out not the same overall, you're going to be lower. It still helps you boost a cap, so it's important.
Mhm.
So like, if certain attributes though, you cannot boost. You're not going to be able to move speed. Still, you're not going to be able to move throw power. But
Mhm.
the ones you can move, you still can make it higher to the point to where the game can keep more of it. So I still think boosting in college is going to be beneficial, especially on that new college game. And it's definitely going to be beneficial for you to upgrade in the RFL, because for guys who are in the RFL right now who have joined it before, you know how difficult it is to just get a spot. So if you dry and you're not showing up no games, you're not getting no real bucks and stuff like that, you will get washed out the league and be sitting in the back for a minute, 4 years. So
Mhm.
that's why upgrading is very important. Being active is important. And it's next man up, man. I'm not trying to hear a sad story as to why you weren't here or none of that. Look, another thing too is I can understand when some people got life going on and stuff. But at the end of the day, I got this going on too. And if you not here and I needed you to upgrade or whatever it is, and I got the opportunity to get somebody else in that position, that's what I'm going to do. It's no hard feelings, but
Right.
that's business. That's real
Facts.
football. That's what the NFL would do, and
Yep.
that's what I have to do. So don't catch any hard feelings if you get replaced. And
Right.
that's for like,
That's
we've
facts,
seen it.
man.
That's that like we're
What's
here now. There's been a couple classes in, we're getting there.
My boy Jay Wilson. So yeah, Jay Wilson. So he says, is there a separate Patreon package for college points or is it all the same? So yeah, that's kind of what we were saying. So there's gonna be a separate Patreon package for college points, and then you're gonna have the one for the pros, right? And that's how you'll determine. If you're in the pros, obviously you're gonna get that package. College, you're gonna get the college one. Once you leave college and go to pros, you just make that switch over to the pro Patreon, and then the new guys coming into college will stay on my Patreon, and we'll just keep it circulating like that, you know. So eventually, you're going to end up getting the Reload Bucks in the Pro Series. That's where you'll end up on that
Yeah.
Patreon eventually. And also EJ. So that's a good question. He says, so say we stay. He says, how does that work with the import? He says, so our player from this year will get wiped out once we get imported into the actual college game.
Yeah, so one thing we will be experimenting is I'm pretty sure you can
We don't know
change
nothing about
classes.
that game right now, so we
Yeah,
haven't even been able to
yeah. So
see
I'm going
anything.
based off the last game that was released, which was NCAA 14, and you could change classes of players by editing them. So I'm thinking that hopefully they allow you to do it later within the season. If they can do that, then what I will do is I will change the guys who are not trying to leave for the draft into freshmen, and they won't pull you.
Okay.
If it does happen to not work that way, we're gonna have to just look and try to figure something out, or maybe you guys get imported into the draft, and I figure out a way to replace that player with somebody else or something like that, or I just completely check you off of that, and yeah, if I check you off, it depends on the class. We'll figure it out. I really don't know
Yeah, we'll
yet, but
figure. Yeah.
that's the hope is to where I can change your class to where it doesn't pick you up. I think that's going to be possible. So that's what it's looking like as of right now.
Yep, most definitely. Oh, he says, so what about the incoming draft class that usually says, yeah, so yeah, bro. So they can earn bucks. That's kind of what Smitty was saying
Yeah.
earlier. They can earn bucks like if they go check in or watch a pro game, they can definitely have that going into the first season, and then which
Yeah.
will get wiped. Will get wiped after
Yeah.
that first
So
season.
what's going to
So
happen is like the RFL, like if you're watching RFL content for the guys who have been here that's in college, that's coming back to college, whatever reload bucks you earn, that's the reload bucks you're going to have. But once you start
yeah, yeah.
paying for college series points, you're not earning reload bucks anymore. You're earning college
Hmm.
series points. Now those college series points are for you to upgrade in college, which again, we went through this. It is now going to be more beneficial to than before for you to be able to upgrade because it just raises your cap to where the game, other than me making the ratings, is going to decide, how much of your caps or your attributes that it's going to keep. So it is
Hmm.
important for you to upgrade your guy, and I'm pretty sure guys will because
Yeah.
you're going to have to when you come in, you're not going to have those high attributes that you choose for your player like before. You're literally going to have to choose the player that's there,
Right.
and you're starting with that. So that's where I said it's going to be when January 1st comes around and we open up applications for the next season for CS7 in July.
Hmm.
You guys need to make sure that you hit that application up first because the first one to get it is the first guy who got first dibs on their pick. And
Hmm.
again, there's going to be different rules because there will be different price ranges based off of overalls, and all that
Right.
stuff will be revealed to you guys later on. But yeah, it's still gonna be $15 on the application though. So like that way, boom, you hit that, and then once you see a player, you're gonna be like, okay, I want this player. So I guess I could go through what I have in mind right now. So
Okay.
70s overalls players up to 75, I guess. I haven't had my exact rating there yet, but 75 below that type of player, or 78 below, whatever I decide. That's the $15. So when you initially pay to be your player, I think if you're in the 70s range, it might be even up to 79. If you're in the 70s range, $15, your initial payment is enough for you to be that player. If your player is 80 and above, up to the 89, then that player is worth 30. And if you're 90 and above, that player is worth 45. So it's a $15 increase for each range that you get in to start out. So once you pay that, one thing that happens if you come back the following year, there's always going to be an RFL reinstatement fee. So if you're reinstating back into the college series, it's $15. You don't have to pay the entire price for that you paid initially for that player to keep it. So if you paid $45 to initially start as a 90-something overall player, right? And the next year you decide to stay, that player, you don't have to pay $45 again. You just have to pay $15 to reinstate them each year. But the initial start is that
you got to
price.
pay that price. Yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that. We're gonna have to. Is that already written down? We got send that to me. Yeah, just send that to me when you.
Yep, I'll have it.
Peyton, though. So yeah, to clarify, brother, if you're in the pros and you do your YouTube roll call, you're gonna get your pro reloads, of course, for watching. But if you're a pro and you decide you want to do a college series roll call, that's what Smitty was saying. He's gonna come up with something to where you guys are gonna get paid for checking into college games as well. I'm not sure what he, as the amount he's thinking or how he wants to do it, but he'll basically just reward you guys still and pay you guys still for tuning into the college games, even though you're a pro player. So it'll be fair. It'll go both ways. We don't want to, like he said, bring college guys and they'll be able to get pro and college points, but pros can only get pro points. You know what I'm saying? So, they'll still only get pro points, but they'll get rewarded for checking in on both pages is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And we're working on, what's it called? This year we can't do it because we have to test it and see what's going on. But we're working on an integration system with YouTube that keeps track of your points, so we don't have to manually do everything through the Discord.
Fire.
So that's going to be something where our channels are going to start tracking how much bucks you get. So it's going to know if you're watching games or if you're not. So now you can't just come in here, take a screenshot, be like, "Oh, I got my reload bucks," and you bounce. Because if you do that, you're not getting paid. YouTube not gonna pay you. So I advise you now to start getting into a habit of watching the actual games, because if you're not, don't be mad and be like, "Yo, I just get YouTube 50 reload bucks, bro. I watched 3 games." You ain't really watched 3 games then, because they would have paid you if you did. So
it's automatic. Nah, facts.
You're gonna have a lot more opportunities though.
But all in all, guys, that's pretty much the spiel on college, because I know y'all waiting for them awards, man. So I ain't gonna hold y'all too much, but that's the gist of things. Of course, y'all gonna hit me. Yeah, we'll have open questions. Of course, y'all gonna hit us. We're gonna have all this information out on Discord to read, so you don't forget. But definitely just wanted to just get all that information to you guys, because I know it's been a lot of questions on the college series. And but without further ado, Smitty, what we looking like? What we talking about?
Like it's time for college series awards, man. Who ready for the CS6 yearly awards? What?
Come on now.
I want to say, hey, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna list names, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna list names. I'm gonna say what the award is and what it's for, and then I'm gonna list names of who is in the running, the nominees for it. And based off of those, I'm going to go ahead and check with the chat. How y'all just go ahead and comment who you think is going to win the awards. And then I'm going to reveal who won it. All right. So we're starting from top to bottom. We're saving the Mackey Award, which in our league is referencing to the Heisman Award. We're saving that for last. Offensive Player of the Year for last. Defensive Player of the Year for last. So those will be the last 3 awards. But starting off, we're going to start from the quarterback down. So the best quarterback award, which is known as the Crowell Award in the RFL, we have Logan Goldsberry, Jordan Granger, Senko Cardenas, Aiden Semino, and Dorian Chavis. Those are the 5 nominees for who could potentially win this award. Comment below who you guys think is going to win the Crowell Award.
Those are some great candidates right there, man. I did have a good chance of watching a lot of the college games this past season, so definitely familiar with all of those names and all of those games, man. So congrats to you guys for being nominated, and good luck to the winner.
All right. And now, without further ado, just keep going, commenting away. The winner for the best quarterback Drake Crowell Award of the RFL College Series 5 is Jordan Granger. I wish I had an applause button. Why I keep forgetting the applause button? But
shout out to Jordan, man. Jordan Granger
takes home the Crowell Award for best quarterback
JG
in RFL College Series 5. Coming in second place was Aiden Semino. Third, Cinco Cardenas. Fourth, Logan Goldsberry. And fifth, Dorian Chavis. And
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, these weren't all loaded up. It was acting weird. So I got to manually click in each award next. So next up, let me see. Next up, we have the Trey Worsley Award. And for anybody wondering where these names came from for the awards, for us, those came from the original position and player of the year and, MVP awards in the RFL. These were original winners in the league, which is where the name
Oh,
sparked
okay.
from. So Dre Crowell was the first person to win Best Quarterback Award in the RFL, such and such. That's how it went.
Okay.
So Trey Worsley is the best running back, first running back, to win that award. And for best running back, we had the candidates of Seamus Davy Fitzpatrick, Steve Washington, Chris Clark, Isaiah Allen, and Isaiah Neal. Comment below who you think is going to take home best running back
What we got, guys?
of CS5.
Let's say Clark. My boy says Steve Washington sweeps. Seamus, Wimbush. I like Washington this year. My boy Clark. Seamus, Clark. Okay. All right. It's looking like a two-man race in the chat. Seamus, Clark. Okay, three-man race now.
Forgot to also announce I'm gonna talk with Jordan Granger just to reiterate some stats because I know some guys probably don't know. So Jordan Granger finished the year with 36 touchdowns, threw 15 interceptions, but he also ran, and I don't have those stats on me, but he definitely had over 40 touchdowns when it came to the rushing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he took home best quarterback award just off those stats alone. And the reason why Semino came in second, he had him with one more touchdown than Jordan Granger, but the issue was he threw 4 more interceptions, so he threw 19 interceptions on the season. So that's what made Jordan Granger win best quarterback of the year. But now we get into best running back. I see some guys talking about Wimbush. Unfortunately, man, compared to the other guys statistically, even though he won a second national championship, he wasn't in the top 5 for it. And the winner,
he didn't even get the top 5, Smitty?
Yeah, he didn't get the top 5, man. He was 6th, though. He was right there. But yeah, I couldn't keep these guys out of it. So the winner for the best running back Trey Worsley Award is Steve Washington.
Steve Washington.
Let's get the clap. Hey, Steve.
Let's go.
Guy was an absolute beast. Did everything for the Louisville Cardinals, man. And he could not be denied this award.
Mm-hmm.
Had the most rushing touchdowns out of anybody. Let me see.
Yeah, he had 14 rushing touchdowns
14
on the season.
touchdowns. Why can't I find him?
Yeah, 1,229 yards.
Yep. Dude was going crazy. 595 yards after contact, which is crazy. Ridiculous. It's crazy because Seamus Davy Fitzpatrick is lower, but Seamus would have been able to get this award if he had more touchdowns. With as stellar as a season as Seamus Davy Fitzpatrick had with 1,591 yards and 866 yards after contact. I think that's the most yards after contact any running back has ever had in college. The only problem with him was the touchdowns are too low. He only had 5 rushing touchdowns compared to Washington's 14. And not to mention, this is just the rushing stats of Washington. Washington easily had over 2,000 yards of total offense and 20 plus touchdowns.
Right. So another thing I want to say about Washington is that I don't even think he didn't make no type of bowl or playoffs, right?
Yeah, he didn't make the playoffs, but he played in the bowl game.
So like his stats stopped at right there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Fitzpatrick, he kind of went. They kind of went. What they played two playoff games?
He got to play in. No, he got to play the one because you only get that.
The one.
Game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he lost. That's when they lost.
They won the bowl and then they lost.
Heartbreaking fashion, man.
That's what it was.
Still got to get a bell, man. 3 weeks later, giving the boys a bell. But yeah, That's your
Oh
winner.
boy.
Second place was Chris Clark from Oregon. Third place was Isaiah Allen from Miami. Fourth place was Seamus Davy Fitzpatrick from Baylor. And I'm tripping. Yeah, Euro Winbush was on this list. I'm bugging. Yeah, Euro Winbush was
Yeah, I'm like, I
5.
see him right
Yeah,
there.
it was 5. I don't know why I thought it was somebody else. But yeah, at least he was on the list. I know, man. I know you want to be on something. But
Nah, shout out to Steve, man. Steve
yeah.
Washington.
And I'm loading up this next award. So this next award is the Guyton Award. Keith Guyton was the first
Mhm.
receiver to win Best Receiver of the Year.
Dang.
And this is for CS5 Best Receiver. So here are the nominees. You've got Tevin, as we like to call him, Corbett. So Tevin Corbett. You
Okay.
got Ajon Grant from USC. Michael Simmons from Baylor.
Okay.
TJ Holcomb from Auburn, and Sebastian Black from Oregon.
Yeah, it looks like I seen Corbett only, really. Yeah, it's looking like, okay, Mike Simmons, Holcomb, okay, Seb, let's go. Yeah, big up your guys, man. Corbett, Michael Simmons, Corbett or Simmons, Corbett, Mike, Seb. It looked like a Corbett race. It just looks like a Corbett race is what's going on here. But I am seeing some Seb in there, Grant,
Seeing some
Mike.
mics.
Yeah, okay, talk that talk, fellas. Yes, sir.
All right, and here we go. And your winner for Best Receiver, Keith Guyton Award of RFL College Series 5 is Tevin Corvette
There he is.
Corbett. This was hands
Corvette,
down the
Corvette.
guy who was going to get it. This dude, 4-8 season. That's all I'm gonna say first. I'm gonna start off with that. A 4-8 season for the team, right? But peep the numbers. These statistics were better than Marvin Harrison Jr.'s than Marvin Harrison Jr.'s stats, and he was a nominee for Heisman. This guy had 74 receptions for 1,300 receiving yards and 17 touchdowns to lead the country. I say again,
The 17 touchdowns is crazy to me.
17 receiving touchdowns on a 4-8 team. So homie was like that. And this was not the only season in which he's done it. His name's been brought up since he's been a part of the college series. And he takes home the Best Wide Receiver Keith Guyton Award. Rightfully so. Coming in second place was the guy who was second in receiving touchdowns to lead the nation, and Michael Simmons with 16. You had Ajon Grant with 15. TJ Holcomb from Auburn had a great season as well. And then Sebastian Black from Oregon, they are finishing in 5th place. All right. And unlike the RFL, which I don't know why Madden does this, we have a Best Tight End Award in college. So let's go ahead and list out who the nominees are for Best Tight End in the RFL. As we like to call it, the Sean McClure Award. Sean McClure was a tight end for the Los Angeles Red Dragons at the time. That's what they were called. And he took home that first award. Even though we didn't have it, he had the best statistical season, which is why he got it.
Okay.
So these are the nominees. You got Heath Duval from LSU. Charlie Dodson from Tennessee. Arturo Flores from Ohio State. Just won a national championship. Jaden Bush from Georgia. And Glenn Holcomb from Miami.
That's a good list.
Who is taking home?
That's a good list. Holcomb or Duval? Oh, Dodson. 143 catches is a record. Got to be him. Glenn, Holcomb. Come on, Smitty. Charlie said, come on, Smitty. Eddie Champ. Jaden Bush or Holcomb. Holcomb. Bush. My boy Armstrong. What up, fam? Yeah, it's looking like they seeing some Holcomb. Seeing a lot of Holcomb. Some Bush.
All right. Time
let's see what we got.
Reveal. So the winner, the best tight end of CS5, taking home the Sean McClure Award is Glenn Holcomb, tight end from Miami. This dude's statistics was ridiculous for a tight end. Just going to his stats here. Guy broke a record, 143 receptions in a
That's crazy.
season, which is just ridiculous. Had over 1,000 yards as a tight end, 1,048 yards, 10 touchdowns, by the
Mm,
way. Yeah, dude was a cannon.
mm.
So he comes in with the award. Running up, we have Charlie Dotson from Tennessee. In
My
third
guy Charlie.
place, Heath Duval from LSU, Arturo Flores fourth from Ohio State, and Jaden Bush from Georgia there at 5.
Yeah, man. And shout out to Glenn Holcomb for that, man. And also Charlie, because Charlie, you had a great season as well, brother. Definitely killed it on 118 catches, 1,144 yards, and 8 tutties. So I'm not mad at that, brother.
Now, let me
Can't wait
grab
to
my
have you.
notes. Ain't
Can't wait to have you
skipping.
back next season, bro. See how you follow up.
All right, next award we have Best Offensive Lineman. Getting some love.
Gotta show
So
love to the big guys.
we only had 2 offensive linemen in that were submitted, and I believe only one ended up being draftable as another one got kicked out. So let's go ahead and announce his name first for the Nielsen Award. Henry Nielsen was the best lineman for Celtic Tigers player there. Oh, I gotta look at the phone. All right, so we have Fredo Vasquez from USC, Casey McCoy from Louisville, Matt Wilcox from Michigan, Don Woods from Notre Dame, and Vince Lucas from Georgia. I know most
Okay.
guys ain't been paying attention to linemen anyway, so this might be me just
All right.
dropping it.
My boy said DeAndre Lopez. Fredo.
And your winner for best offensive lineman,
Don Woods.
Henry Nielsen Award winner is. Click open it up. Oh, I didn't select it. Matt
Matt Will.
Wilcox, and that
Okay.
is offensive guard for Michigan. Now,
I see you, Jack Sky. Don Woods came in second. I see you. That
although
was a good call.
Vasquez, excuse me, although Vasquez was only submitted, and it's tough not to give it to him, man. At the end of the day, it's all about who balled, right? And although he did ball, because Vasquez only gave up 2 sacks, he had a pancake. But guess what? Matt Wilcox had a pancake too, and he was the only offensive lineman in the college series who played and started all year, every game, and didn't give up 1 sack, and had one of the best rushing offenses in the league, which means this guy was well-rounded. So
Mm.
Matt Wilcox not allowing a single sack, which I think this might actually be the first offensive lineman that actually did that. I'll have to check back in the college series. But yeah, he takes that home. Second place was Don Woods from Notre Dame. Third place from Georgia, Vince Lucas. Fourth from USC, Fredo Vasquez. And from Louisville, Casey McCoy. All right, now, offense out the way. We get into the defense. And we
Let's do
start
it.
out with the defensive line, which starts out with the Antonio Griggs Award. Antonio Griggs was a rookie back in season 1 in the RFL who took home both the Defensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Lineman of the Year. Dude was a beast. Well, I don't think he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year. He won Defensive Lineman of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year. So that's what he got. So let me load this up. Where's Griggs at? All right, so here are the nominees for the Antonio Griggs Best Defensive Lineman Award. We have Wyatt Harris from Ohio State, Austin Sanders from Oklahoma, Elijah Walker from Miami, Darius Donald from Oklahoma, and Miles Brock from Clemson, who takes home Best Defensive Lineman.
We got Sanders and look like a Sanders and Walker. Said walk him down. Wyatt Harris. Brock. Okay, Pat. Harris. Okay. Walk him down. Walker all day.
All right.
Okay. This one might be interesting.
For best defensive lineman, Antonio Griggs Award winner goes to Wyatt Harris, defensive tackle from Ohio State, national championship winner. Led the nation in sacks with 14 as a defensive tackle. Dude had over 50 tackles too. Absolute menace up front. Beast, well deserving of the award. Coming in second place from Oklahoma is Austin Sanders. Third, we had Elijah Walker from Miami. Fourth, Clemson, Miles Brock. And fifth, Darius Donald from Oklahoma. All these guys are absolute studs this season. But of course, the sacks, that's really what's going to help win you this award. And he led in that and other categories. He did very well in for his position. So shout out to Wyatt Harris for taking home the Antonio Griggs Award.
Definitely big ups to Wyatt, man. And yeah, he will be returning to Ohio State next season, fellas.
And then we move on to the middle, second level of the defense, which is the Charles Raymond Award. So this is for best linebacker. All right. So the nominees for best linebacker is Caden Ferragamo from Ohio State, Yanni Ramirez from LSU, Rick Diesel from Louisville, George Chamberlain from Florida, and Pat Forney from Florida. It goes to show how good Florida's linebacker core was at two guys.
They had two of them?
Both had over 100 tackles.
Goodness.
So who do you guys got taking home Charles Raymond Best Linebacker of the Year award?
They saying Ramirez. Rick. Said no Colo for linebacker.
When you compare his stats to these guys on the list, he just got edged out.
Yanni, he said Evans not there as well.
Hey man, just gotta look at the stats. Just gotta look at
Colo
the stats.
is a dog. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people was upset about Colo. No Stephen King is crazy. Or is it Stephen? How do y'all pronounce it here? Is it Stephen King or Stephen King?
I think he got on here as Steve King.
Okay, so yeah, he said no Steve King is crazy. Okay, so they're a little upset. What we got?
Hey,
what we got, Smitty?
All I want to say, let me just go list off some statistics from these guys.
Yeah, I was about to say, you might want to because it's a lot of...
Pat Forney, for one, Florida, 151 tackles, 61 of those solo, 9 TFLs, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, 2 touchdowns. That's Pat Forney from Florida. Yanni Ramirez, 170 tackles, 83 of those solo, 8 TFLs, didn't get any sacks, but he had 3 interceptions, a forced fumble, and a defensive touchdown. Rick Diesel had 146 tackles, 65 solo, 9 TFLs, 1 sack, 4 interceptions. 2 forced fumbles and 2 defensive touchdowns. That's Rick Diesel. Caden Ferragamo had 139 tackles, 38 tackles, 73 solo, 12 TFLs, 2 sacks, 3 interceptions, 6 forced fumbles, and a defensive touchdown. And last but not least, I think I got to everybody, didn't I? No, Chamberlain, who was second, who was with Pat Forney, had 114 tackles, 58 solo, 11 TFLs, 8 sacks, 3 interceptions, a forced fumble, and he didn't score a touchdown. But that was not even being the main linebacker on some Nolan Carroll type stuff.
Somebody
So
said he said should team defensive rankings come into play when ranking defensive players?
not necessarily. The way I look at awards, it's the team success, it becomes a part of it when I'm trying to determine a tiebreaker, right? And the reason why I say that is because I feel an award is based off statistics. It's not based off of who the best player is in the country and stuff all the time. It really isn't. It's
Right.
mainly about who puts up the most important stats for their position, who's pretty much done everything, which also explains Steve Washington winning his award because he was killing,
Mm-hmm.
running, catching, everything, right? So he's two-way guy hitting. When it comes to awards, it's statistical because we already know that's how it's ran. Because
Right.
if you went off awards and you just drafted a guy just because he won an award, and it does not equal the result that you're going to see when he's on your team. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the way you got to look at awards. Not even just here, just in general, because that's how it's used everywhere, even in the NFL. That's how it works. Even in college, that's how it works. I mean, look at my guy who just won the award. Dude had 40 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Jaden Daniels did. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That dude threw 10
He,
times as many
he had another
interceptions.
10 rushing
You know what I'm
touchdowns.
saying? But guess what? You know how many people would say that Jaden Daniels, in their opinion, if you were to ask them generally, how many people would say that he's better than Caleb Williams, than Drake May and all these other guys that's supposed to have all this notoriety? You know who the
Right.
top dudes are, but he
Right.
got the award because statistically he was the best guy. So that's
Facts.
how statistics work. That's how how awards work. So yeah, I mean, just had to go ahead and put that out there. But did a lot of ranting for the Charles Raymond Award here. So for the Charles Raymond Best Linebacker Award, the winner is Caden Ferragamo,
Hey.
linebacker for Ohio State. You just couldn't refute the fact that this dude, let me see where he's at again.
Shout out to my
12
boy. Jay.
TFLs, 2 sacks, 3 interceptions. But this number here, too, with 6 forced fumbles and a defensive touchdown. It was really a race
Crazy.
between he and Ramirez. But, I mean, that's crazy. You know, that dude really did everything. He did. He literally filled every stat and had a high volume of it. So, and won a national championship. So that's a little
Yeah,
bit
that
where
gets
at
he's
that point
special.
I did factor in where I was like, okay, now this is close, but he did win a national championship too. So like I had to give it to him.
And had a pick six
Yeah.
in that
So
game.
shout out to Caden Ferragamo. This is another player that's deciding to stay in college, but he's transferring.
He's
So
transferring.
that's crazy that he won a natty, take the ring, and might win it somewhere else. Who knows? But
Woo.
Caden Ferragamo taking home best linebacker of the year. Second place, Yanni Ramirez from LSU. Third place, Rick Diesel. Fourth place, George Chamberlain, and fifth place is Pat Forney. And yeah, I mean, hey man, Colo was there. He was definitely 6. But I couldn't put him over Chamberlain and Forney, man. Forney had the better stats all around because I mean, was that 8 sacks homeboy had at the linebacker spot, 3.5? Dude was going crazy. And yeah, he just couldn't edge them out. He had a good volume of forced fumbles. He said Colo had 5 forced fumbles, 3.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, defensive touchdown.
Nah, he's going to
Uh,
Clemson.
yeah.
Sorry.
So his statistics was there, but it just wasn't enough to get into place in that top 5 compared to what those guys had. All right, now we get into the Matt Hoover Award. And the Matt Hoover Award is for best defensive back. Let me see. Where's it?
Nice.
Okay.
A couple
So,
of big time defensive players coming back, man. That's going to be interesting for next season.
yep. Okay, for the Matt Hoover Best Defensive Back Award, here are your nominees. You
We
got
got
Jay Hayden from Miami, Kevo Washington from Georgia, Paul Carroll from LSU, Walt Peak from Wisconsin, and J.J. Harris from Baylor.
Okay. Jumping Jack Harris. Who we got in the comments, chat? What we got? Who we got taking this one? I'm seeing the Miami boys is stepping out. Hayden for the win. K5, JJ. This a good one. Okay, Hayden, JJ, Hayden. Look like a JJ Hayden race. JJ Harris. Yup. Okay. K5, JJ. Okay, yeah. I'm loving it. Hayden. So either
Yeah, sorry, Dalen.
okay. Yo.
All right,
Okay,
and
let's get it.
your Matt Hoover Best Defensive Back of the Year award goes to Jay Hayden,
Jay
cornerback
Hayden.
from Miami. Coming in second place, Kevo Washington.
My
Third,
boy Jay.
J.J. Harris. Fourth, Paul Carroll. And fifth, Walt Peak. Oh,
Yeah, man.
those
Shout out to my
guys.
boy Jay Hayden, man. Great season, Jay. Way to bring it home. I know the Miami boys is proud. The Polk family. The
Hey.
Polk family is litty.
Polk and Lido fan.
You feel me? They going up. Nah, but yeah, for real. Shout out to Jay, man. That's a great one. Winning the DB award is crazy, bro. That's
Yeah, he
a
tied with
great
Kevo
feat.
Washington for the most interceptions this season with 4. And those guys were going crazy early on in the season, but Jay Hayden just notching them out. That's where, again, came with the team success. And a bit of it factored into the fact that Kevo Washington also is not part of the college series anymore, or he's switching his player. So, factor that with Miami was more successful as a team at this point. Now it's pretty much picked. That's when the records come into case.
Okay.
Because they were about the same.
Well, look, I gotta put you on the spot then, Smitty, since you brought it up.
Mm.
So are you technically saying if it wasn't for Kevo leaving that he might have won this award, possibly?
Yeah, he could have. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's good. It's a good chance he could have been. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
And so like that was definitely a factor. I would say, you know what? The team success was definitely a part of it, but the main factor was that too. You know, because if this
Okay.
guy's not even a part, this player no more, right? Jay Hayden has been his player. He's been active, and it's just like, bro, pretty much these guys are neck and neck. There's no real
Right.
difference. So I would rather give it to the guy who's actually going to continue on with his career because Jay Hayden's going into the draft. He misses
Right.
this award. This dude's not even around no more as a player, and it's like why wouldn't you give it to him? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
He's right
Put it
there.
on his
If it were
resume.
even and you had to pick between who, that's where it comes down to who's actually going to stay around. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Right.
and it's not to say that Kevo Washington's not staying around. He's around, but he's not
Yeah,
Kevo
he's not.
Washington no more.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
So it's like,
Exactly.
at least I'm going to put him in at second place. Now, if it was something
Okay.
else to where he wasn't like around and done, he wouldn't even have been on the list. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I would have chose somebody
But he's
else.
actually here, so
But
we
he's
gotta show him
here. I
love.
put him at
Yeah.
second place so that the record always show that, you know, he was there too. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Nah, yeah, Jay, you definitely deserved it though, brother, for sure, man. You did your thing.
Yeah. And we get a look at let's see, browse. All right. Kickers are people too. All right. So we got Best
He
Kicker of
said
the
they
Year
people.
award. And I know you guys don't know no kicker except for one. I want you guys to guess who the award winner is, because I'm pretty sure if you know a kicker, you know who won this award.
Do I think it's yeah, I only know. Okay, go ahead. I'll
If you
wait, but
know this kicker, you like I don't think nobody knew who any of the other kickers in the college series was anyway, except for this guy. And the
right.
crazy
I'm
thing is he
like, I
left the
only know
league
one kicker.
entirely. He left the league entirely, but because I literally had just enough to put the guy on the list, I said just give it to him. I don't know if he had any real life issues or something going on, so like he's got this. And yeah, you guys already know. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We already know who
the
that
winner
is,
of the
man.
new renamed Michael Florida Best Kicker of the Year award goes to Lincoln Cole.
Lincoln Colt,
This guy was
baby.
100%, didn't miss a single kick all season.
Oh
So
wow.
Dude was goated. And unfortunately, he's not going to be able to enter the RFL draft. But hey, he's got an award. We're going to at least give him that because there was no other kicker that was submitted. So,
Hey
I
man,
mean, at the end of the
part of
day,
part of history.
yeah, part of history. I'm like, well, if he's
Part of
pretty much
history.
a CPU AI and he has nothing but CPU AI to run up against, might as well give him the award. So he gets it.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy was a beast.
Yeah,
I don't
shout
know
out
what
to
happened
Lincoln,
to him,
man.
but bro, you would have been probably another drafted kicker, just like the guy who you got this award named after.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
I ain't gonna
He
say
just
first
tapped
round though,
out.
because I don't know if anybody ever gonna pull a read like again. But yeah. All right, now that's all the positional awards, and now we get into the main awards for
Oh
Offensive Player
boy.
of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and the Mackey slash Heisman Best Player in CS5. All
All
right,
right, boy.
so here we go for Offensive
Man,
Player
oh man.
of the Year. These are your nominees. Let me see what award this is. Gidley. This is the
Who we got,
Joseph
y'all?
Gidley Award.
Joseph Gidley.
So for Offensive Player of the Year, nominees are Tevin Corbett, Jordan Granger, Steve Washington, Michael Simmons, and Chris Clark.
Hmm.
Again, Tevin Corbett, Jordan Granger, Steve Washington, Michael Simmons, and Chris Clark.
Corbett, Clark, two Baylor Bears. Let's go. Corbett coming for it all. Corbett or Granger. Corbett. JG or Mike Simmons. JG. I like Clark. Okay. Corbett getting a lot of love. Clark is solid too for sure. Clark.
All
Okay.
right.
This thing could
So
go.
for Offensive Player of the Year in the RFL College Series, the Joseph Gidley Award goes to J.G.
The
Wentworth. Jordan Granger
the
takes home
Granger.
the Offensive Player of the Year Joseph Gidley Award.
Right.
And
Hey.
again, this guy scored the most touchdowns out of any player in the RFL College Series offensively. And he tore it up with his arm and his leg. Coming in second place is Tevin Corbett.
The
Third
Green
place,
Ranger.
Steve Washington. Fourth, Chris Clark. And fifth, Michael Simmons.
That's crazy, JG. Congratulations, brother. Hey, you just go ahead and stack them up in the room, man. You just got a few taking home trophies, huh?
On two.
Took home two already. You just having a great night. JG.
All right, now we're about to get into Defensive Player of the Year. And that is called the Tyrone Brennan Award. And the
Okay.
nominees for the Tyrone Brennan Best Defensive Player of the Year CS5 Award are Yanni Ramirez, Caden Ferragamo, Austin Sanders, Wyatt Harris, and Rick Diesel.
So it looks like the linebackers went off this year.
Sure enough, did.
Because those are the linebackers. So we got a linebacker race again, most likely here. What we got? He said, I would say Rick. I would say Evans. Okay, they was looking for Evans in that last one. Rick, Harris, Ferragamo. It's gonna be one of them OSU boys. No DBs.
Nah. Usually never in there.
Rodney's sick. Rodney like no DBs.
All right. And your winner for the Tyrone Brennan Best Defensive Player of the Year award goes to
Uh-oh.
Caden Ferragamo, linebacker
Yeah.
from Ohio State. Again, crazy numbers. Wyatt Harris coming in second. Sachs almost won him this award, not going to lie. He snapped two, was very close, neck and neck. They both on the same team. But if I had to say who had the most impact on this team when it came to the game, although it was pretty much neck and neck, I think it was Caden Ferragamo. Harris was wreaking havoc up front for sure. And like I said, this was so hard for me to decide between which one of them I wanted to get it. But I felt like Ferragamo was the guy who literally changed the game and won them the games. Like taking home interceptions, forcing the fumbles. Like he was the guy making the big plays to keep them in and to come back and to win the games that they needed to going on that 12-game win streak. So that 10-game win streak, I think it was. So, yep. Yeah, third
Shout out
place.
to Caden, man.
Yeah, third place, we got Yanni Ramirez. Fourth, Austin Sanders. And fifth, Rick Diesel.
Man, Ohio State, man, they had those big guys up front, man. They know how to build them teams, man.
Yes, sir. And it's time.
Wyatt and Caden.
It's time for the biggest award of the night.
Here we go.
The Mackey
Here we go.
/ Heisman Award winner.
Oh, boy. What we doing, y'all?
These are your nominees.
Ooh.
Jordan Granger from Baylor.
Green Ranger.
Steve Washington from Louisville. Tevin Corbett from Wisconsin. Chris Clark from Oregon. And Michael Simmons from Baylor.
Okay. Shout out to Baylor. Sheesh. You boys got 2 nominees?
Those two was hooking up for a lot of big plays this season.
All right. Clark, JG, locked. Simmons, Corbett, JG. He said I put a rack on it right now, JG.
And your winner for
it is.
The Hunter Mackey / Heisman Award for RFL CS5 goes to Jordan Granger.
Green Ranger.
Again, 3 trophies. Man, I need to download the daggone applause button.
3 of them.
But yeah, 3 championships. I said championships. He was close. I shouldn't say championships after what happened to him this past. But 3.
He said 3 championships.
3.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm talking about Ohio State. That probably brought up a dark memory for him. But 3 awards. He said, "Hey man, you got the 3 championships. I'm gonna take the 3 awards. How about that?" He gets the Hunter Mackey Heisman Award for the RFL College Series, man. And again, like I said, no other player had more touchdowns than him this season. Of course, Aiden Semino, he would have been in this list, but where he got outdone was literally the high amount of interceptions. He had 19, close to 20. And he just threw 1 more touchdown than Jordan Granger. But the difference was Jordan Granger used his legs while he didn't. So he only had passing statistics. Although he was the only quarterback to throw for over 5,000 yards, he only had those statistics. Jordan was already there with him and had rushing stats and rushing touchdowns. And so when you go through that, Tevin Corbett, it was really close. I was talking with you, Zeke. I was like, hey, man, I think I might give this to Tevin Corbett because, he played 12. Homeboy played a regular season. That was it. Better statistics than Marvin Harrison and 3 more touchdowns than Marvin Harrison on a 4-8 season, man. And I was just like, yo, I think I'm about to give it to Tevin Corbett. But then, I was thinking, I was like, that's when you brought up. He was like, I was just talking about the passing. He was like, yo, what about the rushing though? I was like, oh, although we don't got the rushing touchdowns incorporated, he easily has 40+ touchdowns. Nobody else does. And the last guy, who had those similar statistics to win this award was Daryl Johnson. And so I was like, yo, Daryl Johnson had 40 total touchdowns. Daryl Johnson had 13 rushing, 27 passing. This dude had 35 passing. We don't know his rushing touchdown total, but I know for a fact he had more than 5. And there was no other quarterback. There was other scramblers, but they weren't putting up the amount of yards passing like that. And then the other ones that did have the rushing and passing touchdowns a bit, they threw a lot of interceptions. he didn't. So Jordan Granger, congrats, my boy, on winning the Heisman
Congrats,
slash
man.
Hunter Mackey Award. And
Yes,
those are
sir.
your CS5 award winners. These will be getting posted on social media tonight. And with that being said, it is now time for open questions. But before that, the last thing I do need to hit to let you guys know is pretty much based off of how the season, based off if everything goes right with the well, it's not. I guess I could give you a range. It's not really. I can't give you an exact date, but the RFL season is expected to start either January 18th, January 25th, or February 1st. So that's going to be out of those three dates. That's one of the dates that the RFL season 9 season will begin. Just wanted to put that up there. I guess we ain't got nothing really too much to talk about. We'll just leave JG up here, man. Shout out to you, my guy. And
Right. Super shout out to you, JG.
yeah, now we'll be taking open questions. If it's hot and we rolling, we can roll for more than 7 minutes. But if it starts to slow down, ain't nothing really coming in there that you see, man. Then we'll just end it at 11 in 7 minutes.
The season, not the preseason, correct?
No, the preseason. The
Okay.
preseason will start on one of those dates. Yeah, so the RFL
Preseason.
season is going to be pushed back further than usual, but it needs to because we need to make sure everything's done. And it is what it is. And since we brought back preseasons, we're not missing it. Another thing, Pat, which I'm glad you brought this up, we can't change week 1 right now, and I don't think, and we're not going to be able to. So I actually have to get you the week 1 schedule. So unfortunately, we will have cross conference matchups, even though we wanted to save that for the regular season. We will have cross conference matchups in the preseason, just the first week, and then we'll save that. Of course, the rest will be in regular season. But if there's any same matchups that you see in week 1 that you already put down for weeks 2 and 3 of the preseason, Pat, just make sure to accommodate and change it up. But week 1 has to stay because you can't edit the week that you're in schedule wise.
Nice. He says, "Are we getting S9 dev trait updated before the draft or after?"
What do you mean?
Question from Miles McCain. He says, "Are we getting S9 dev
Oh
trait
yeah.
updated
Dev,
before the draft or after?"
yeah, that's something I'm gonna be working on within this week. So, but I've definitely been handling a lot of other things for this season, but that for sure should be done within this month. If I do straddle along later, then that'll be the case. But I definitely should have that done by this month here in December, and that will of
Are
course
we
be sent out to the coaches.
are we running Sabo gameplay mod?
No. The
No.
reason why we're not doing the Sabo gameplay mod is because right now not all coaches have PCs to be able to test and do all this stuff. And one thing I will say is I am working on a trajectory mod though that I've created myself, and I've tested it and it looks really good. But I'm trying to see, I've been testing a lot of games to see, how it looks. And so pretty much everything else is going to be base. The only thing I've changed is to make the
Mm-hmm.
quarterbacks, the little things that you see that the base game can't fix, I've tried to fix. And I've been testing. It's been looking pretty decent. So I've made
Mm-hmm.
quarterbacks try to throw the ball away more, which we know we've had issues with. We don't want guys running 30 yards back. And I've made it to where there's actually arc on the ball, so where you have a lot more areas that a quarterback can throw the ball as opposed to the base game. That'll be the only difference with that mod. Everything else will be the base. But what
Nice.
that allows is it allows a reduction of interceptions so that you're not seeing a boatload of those and weird stuff like that. It allows crazy back shoulder animation things, and stuff like that. So it would pretty much be a difference in just the arc of the ball and the quarterback's just not making dumb decisions. You're still going to see
Mm-hmm.
some, but it is going to be limited. So that's the only mod I'm going to add to it. And I'm going to make sure when I do a video on sliders that I make that a point to be like, hey, man, the difference is, though, that this is going to have a trajectory mod to it. Other than that, though,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Everything is base.
We going base. Yep. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out to my boy, Dragon Rage. So Combine, bro. No, we kind of touched on that earlier. Just won't be able to get that done in time. I know we'd have to make a whole new class, I believe, on the console in order to get those numbers.
Yeah.
So Smitty's just not able to do that combine. Unfortunately, sorry about that, bro. He says, EJ Johnson, can you be one and done and enter the RFL, or is it a 2-year minimum?
So now, because the RFL season is one a year and we got 2 college series seasons, it depends on when you enter the to be a player. So say for
Right.
instance, this year you have to play at least 2 seasons because College Series 6 and College Series 7, when that new game drops, the draft ain't going to happen until December next year. And so
Mm-hmm.
when that happens in December, yeah, 2 seasons have to go by. You have to play those. If say
Mm-hmm.
for instance you come in CS7, you can leave for the draft your first year. So if CF7 comes and you want to enter the draft, you can be one and done when December comes. But just know that that's just one season under your character's belt, and more than likely that will affect your player. Based off of what they'll do. So, I mean, the likelihood of that is slim, but you can leave if you want. And if you don't go, then your player is going to play at least 3 seasons, because that means you have to wait an entire season till the next December, which means you have to play CS8 and CS9, and then the draft comes. So it's pretty much almost forces players to play multiple seasons in college, as they should, to kind of build up a lot more hype for themselves. But if you decide to leave after 1 season, you can do it, but that most likely is going to mean you're going to have to really grind to build your player up to land a roster spot.
Mm-hmm. And then he says, if we don't get picked up from the draft, can we get signed as a free agent?
Yes. If
Okay.
it depends on if somebody is interested and they pick you up. If nobody does pick you up, you have the right to retire your player immediately and then just create a new one. You can only have, for those who are new, one player in the RFL. If you are caught submitting more than one player, you will be banned from ever creating a player in the RFL. So
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. We want to open space for all new guys to get an experience. We don't want guys coming in here taking spaces off of good teams where somebody else hasn't had this experience yet, and you just took up a good roster spot. So that's going to be very important. And if you
Mm-hmm.
get caught doing that, like, you're done. Like, you're not going to be banned from the league, but you definitely will never
Yeah.
be able to create a player. So you might as well leave, I guess, cause,
Right. Don't cheat
unless
the
you're a
system,
fan.
right, man?
Mm-hmm.
My boy says, oh yeah, so Jack, yeah, so pretty much you have to reinstate each season in college. I don't believe you have to pay for pros once you get
Yeah,
to the pros, but college, each time you return, you do have to reinstate, pay that fee, because he's asking if you do 2 seasons in college, do you have to pay for that second one as well in
yeah.
July?
You
You
do
do,
still have to pay for it.
right?
Because again, that's a spot for somebody new, and of course we gotta generate revenue for the league as well, in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
I said we could be doing it in a lot of other ways, and like, there's other leagues and stuff out here that charge a lot more, but we want to try to keep it to where it's nothing too crazy. It's not a like taxed on you to where it's like, yo, you got to do this, but you kind of want to do it. If you're very active,
Mm-hmm.
you're good. Like, if you're very active, I'm sure you're going to be able to earn those reloads and do that stuff. It might take you time and to get the
Right.
grind, but at least you know that if you really grind at it, you probably don't even got to spend a dime like that. But if you do that, it helps you a lot because you're getting those extra reloads, and you're active, so it'll actually help your player's progression, very to move much faster. And unfortunately, this season I talked about a card game. Not going to be able to bring that this year. I gotta get with Cody Carter too, by the way, to see, because he's made some pretty good cards and stuff. But I want to generate something more uh, different. So like, trust me, I got some ideas for what's to come in the future. So season 10, after this year, bro, like, I'm telling you, it's going to have a lot to it. New card game, Hall of Fame. The first ever RFL Hall of Fame induction is going to happen in season 10. Like, it's gonna be lit.
So yeah, Jay Will, so you pay the 15. So you basically just doing in the reinstatement payment, you're doing the same exact thing you did when you first signed up. You're gonna obviously you're already in the server, so you'll just pay via like a Cash App or whatever we got set up for you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how you'll do it. Not Yeah, so freshman right now, I guess technically you could say you're forced to play 2 seasons, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, you have to
yeah, you
because
you got to.
the next draft is not coming until the following year anyway. So what are you gonna do? You're just gonna be like sit out a whole year? Like you might as well just hit the field. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? But also Charlie, I see Charlie had one. Zeke for college series, are we going to be able to customize playbooks or rock with the base? So just for this season only, I'm allowing you guys to customize week 1, and then you won't be able to change it again until if you make the playoffs. And then after that, obviously, we're just going to stick to base because
yeah,
then we'll have the college game and we'll just stick to the aesthetics and the atmosphere and vibes of the actual culture of that team. That way, when players submit, they know, okay, I want to go play for Georgia. I'm going to run that offense and that defense. Or I want to go play for this program. They're going to run this. So we want to keep that, as realistic as possible. But just due to the fact this is the last year on the mod, I'm gonna be a little nice, and open that up for you guys. You guys already have your commits, so you already know the type of play you want to play like. So go ahead, set your books, and then that'll be it. You won't see another book change until the final 4 teams that make the playoffs. If they want to make last second adjustments, and then that's it. But I think that might be it, Smitty.
yeah. We'll
Yeah,
take one more if we see something interesting.
yeah. We
It'll
see
give you
something
2 minutes
pop up.
because it's at 11:05. We'll shut it down.
Okay, but yeah, man. Hey, you already know we got them ready, bro.
Oh,
It's going up.
don't
I'm
even know.
excited, brother. Again, too, I just want to say live out in public, man. I appreciate you for having us, bro.
Oh, yeah,
Just
no doubt.
creating this whole platform, bro. And I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to move things forward
Oh
and
yeah,
keep things going, man.
it's about to
You know what
be
I'm saying?
a movie, man. Like
Movie.
guys know it's coming, but they don't know it's coming. Like it's
You feel
when
me? They
y'all
ain't even
see
seen the
this,
unis,
the fields, the
the field.
sidewalls,
This-
the mod, because bro,
no,
once we
oh my
completely
god.
finish the mod too, we're gonna put it out there in public for you guys to download. For anybody who knows the people in the Mad Mod community, let them know, man. Because I made a post in the Mad Mod community, so if you're a part of that, go check that out,
Mm-hmm.
react to it, and pretty much gonna be
Yeah.
updating that page with RFL information. Let them know, like, cause I want to try to work with those guys because that's a great thing, that could happen, that could pop off for both of us. I mean, these guys create mods and stuff like that, but I'm the one, who really got the communities built in this area. So like
Right.
they can really start creating even more stuff, and I can make it something exclusive to where you can only download the RFL mod within the Madden mod community. So that
Mm.
gets them clout, you know what I'm saying? It works both
Mm-hmm.
ways. And then if for whatever reason they can't that they're not rolling with that, if for whatever reason they're not rolling with that or something, then I'll just have no choice but to put the mod exclusively to
Right.
the RFL Discord. But yeah, let those boys know, man. RFL,
Yeah,
we
man.
lit,
I'm
man.
gonna let them know too, because I'm like, bro, if we can get in there, that'd be well. We gonna be in there regardless, but just linking up with them and getting certain things done in the server is gonna be dope. They might want us to try things, test things, different stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, why not? The
No, when they
RFL is
see
the
what we
mod.
got, they gonna be like, oh. Cause I mean the mod ain't done yet, but when they see these uniforms, cause they got that requester joint, and when we put them
Yeah,
pictures in there,
they
they
gonna be
gonna be
like, oh,
like,
they
yo,
boys
what
is
is
working.
this? Yo,
Put
what?
them
Like,
boys
we
on.
ain't just making no basic mods, no corny stuff
Right.
now. Like this like a whole our own game, boy. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like
feel me?
they not
They
ready,
hot. We doing what they doing. They feel like they the only ones that can do
bro.
that.
Yeah, like
It's
hey,
love though.
I gotta give a shout out to the guy who actually made the mod impossible though, because at the end of the
Facts.
day, without that, we wouldn't be able to do none of this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to
Even though we
him, man.
learning how to do all that other stuff, but whoever created the Frosty and all that stuff, shout out to you, my guy. Like,
Shout out to you, bro. You the guy, man.
shout out to
You
you.
started this whole wave, brother.
Oh yeah.
You know. But yeah, guys. I do believe. I don't think anybody else has got anything to say here. So
Yeah. So we should be
um,
good, man.
yeah,
If you guys
I'll let
got
you.
any questions, you part of a Discord, you already know to hit us up. I might end up hopping in the general VC and something, just hopping in there, talk with a couple
Yeah, I'll
guys. It's
probably
like,
pop in there and chill too.
yeah. But for now, man, I know it's been a minute. I know we had this in the intro. You guys been hearing this. I haven't heard this in a while. That RFL theme song, but guess what? I got some more tracks coming for y'all boys. Season 9 about to be a movie. CS6 about to be a movie.
CS6 movie.
RFL is up, boy. Lead first. We'll see you boys next time.
My guys, peace. Hey, you finna hop in that gym, bro? Oh.